Hello, the internet. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Adventures of Dr. Dropkick. I am your titular host, Dr. Dropkick, and today we're doing something a little bit different. Welcome to Fabled Lands. Now, what is Fabled Lands, you might ask? Great question, fabulous question. Also, you look really nice today, by the way. I am a huge fan of game books. Game books became wildly popular in the 80s and the early 90s, and a game book is essentially a choose-your-own-adventure story, like choose-your-own-adventure book, but plus. Often with game books, it mixes the choose-your-own-adventure style play with stats and dice rolls and combat and monsters to battle and also spells to cast or vehicles to drive. If you're familiar with things like fighting fantasy or sorcery, Steve Jackson's Sorcery, or White Wolf, those are game books. But there's one that I find not a lot of people talk about. It kind of flew under the radar, which is a shame, and that was Fabled Lands. I should say that is Fabled Lands because this is a series still having game books produced today. Fabled Lands is an open world game book. So what that means is, if you have 5 fighting fantasy books in your collection, you have 5 unique stories, and they have many different endings and many different ways to play through them. But at the end of the day, it's a closed circuit. Fabled Lands was always designed to be open world. So each book adds a new part into the existing world that your existing character can go and explore and play and learn and challenge the quests there. Do you want to become a merchant lord? Go for it. An adventurer? Absolutely go for it. Do you want to go on a quest to become the most powerful mage in the land? Whatever you want to do, the books are designed to be there. And they're still making them today. I believe there's 14 of them now. But it really is something like, I want to now go to the city of Grunsburg. Grunsburg. Okay, I need to go and grab book 7 off my shelf. Open to page 32, and now I'm in that part of the world, right? I didn't realize that there was a digital version that was being produced. It looks like they've got maybe 4 books on. I just kind of grabbed them all on sale. So we're going to kind of dive on in. And we're going to play this. So what this is a relatively faithful adaptation of how the game system works. So we're going to create a character. We're going to go exploring around. This could run a very short series. Or this could be very long, depending on what we want to do. It could end extremely abruptly, because even a high-level character can be killed by a string of bad rolls against some brigands. Or it could go until we say, you know what, I feel like we've really completed this character's story. What makes this different is that this game is mostly text. There are going to be some things to look at. There's a map, and you'll see the text on the screen, and there's stat screens and all that. But at the end of the day, most of this is going to be me reading to you. So I think what we should do is just dive right on in, and you're going to see exactly what I mean. But you know what? I've got my hydration here. I recommend grab yourself a cup of tea, butter up a muffin on a nice Sunday morning, my friends, and let's dive in to Fabled Lands. We're going to start the game as a warrior. I always like playing warriors in games. I'm a big sword and sorcery fan, so the warriors is always kind of drawn to me. So I think this is a great place for us to start. Here's our warrior. As you can see, we have 6 stats: charisma, combat, magic, sanctity, scouting, and thievery. All the 6 classes in Fabled Lands use a combination of those stats, and we don't get to rearrange them. They are hard locked in. There's the warrior, the mage, the priest, the rogue, the wayfarer, the troubadour, and then back to the warrior. But as you can see, they all use variations of these different stats. You seek fame through adventure and glory of battle. You left your homeland when an extended outbreak of peace made your skills redundant there. You are blunt and outspoken. but scrupulously follow the warrior's code. You know the Merchants Guild in Yellowport needs assistance. Well, this is going to be our guy. Let's give him a name. We're going to name him Torgrim. Torgrim was always the name I gave my warriors when I would play a fighting fantasy or a White Wolf. We were always Torgrim. And let's set up. He's kind of a barbarian guy, so we're going to give him this like cool wedgy beard with the bald noggin. And being a barbarian, he has to be covered in furs and teeth. There's no other way. What's this? Oh, this is like scars. Oh, we could give him a cool eye patch. Yeah. And we'll start with the skill, Tactical Assessment, and Stunning Blow. And we'll deal with all that when we get there. Don't worry. We're going to play on Adventurer difficulty. That's difficulty 2 of the 4. Again, I'm going to say this a lot. This is based on a series that started in the 90s. It is brutally difficult and brutally unforgiving if you are not prepared. If you decide to go waltzing into a den of thieves without really planning it, you are going to get wasted. So we're going to play on Adventurer difficulty. It's the sort of medium difficulty. And without further ado, my friends, let us go into the Fabled Lands. The approach of dawn has turned the sky a milky gray-green, like jade. The sea is a luminous pane of silver. Holding the tiller of your sailing boat, you keep your gaze fixed on the glittering constellation known as the Spider. It marks the north, and by keeping it to port, you know you are still on course. The sun appears in a trembling burst of red fire at the rim of the world. Slowly, the chill of night gives way to brazen warmth. You lick your parched lips. There is little water sloshing in the bottom of the barrel by your feet, but not enough to see you through another day. Sealed in a scroll case tucked into your jerkin is the parchment map your grandfather gave you on his deathbed. You remember his stirring tales of far sea voyages, of kingdoms beyond the western horizon, of sorcerous islands and ruined palaces filled with treasure. As a child, you dreamed of nothing else but the magical quests that were in store if you, too, became an adventurer. You never expected to die in an open boat before your adventures even began. Securing the tiller, you unroll the map and study it again. You hardly need to. Every detail is etched into your memory. According to your reckoning, you should have reached the east coast of Harkuna, the great northern continent, days ago. A pasty gray blob splatters on the map. After a moment of stunned surprise, you look up and curse the seagull circling directly overhead. Then it strikes you. Where there's a seagull, there may be land. You leap to your feet and scan the horizon. Sure enough, a line of white cliffs lie a league to the north. Have you been sailing along the coast all this time, without realizing the mainland was so close? Steering towards the cliffs, you feel the boat judder against rough waves. A howling wind whips plumes of spindrift across the sea. Breakers pound the high cliffs. The tiller is yanked out of your hands. The little boat is spun around out of control and goes plunging in towards the coast. You leap clear at the last second. There is the snap of timber, the roaring crescendo of the waves, and then silence. Striking out wildly, you try to swim clear of the razor-sharp rocks. For a while, the undertow threatens to drag you down. Then suddenly, a wave catches you and flings you contemptuously up onto the beach. Battered and bedraggled, you lie gasping for breath, until you hear someone walking along the shore towards you. Wary of danger, you lose no time in getting to your feet. Confronting you is an old man clad in a dirty loincloth. His eyes have a feverish bright look that is suggestive of either a mystic or a madman. "Well, well, well, what have we here, friends?" asks the old man. He seems to be talking to someone next to him, although you are certain he is alone. "Looks like a washed-up adventurer to me," he says in answer to his own question. "All wet and out of luck." He carries on having a conversation that quickly turns into a heated debate. He is clearly quite mad. "Excuse me," you shout above the hubbub in an attempt to grab the old man's attention. He stops and stares at you. "Is this the Isle of the Druids?" you ask impatiently. "Indeed it is," says the old man. "I see that you are from a land far away, so it is up to me to welcome you to Harkuna. But I think you may have much to do here, as it is written in the stars that someone like you would come. Your destiny awaits you. Follow me, young adventurer." The old man smartly turns around and begins walking up a path towards some hills. You can just see some sort of monolithic stone structure atop one of them. So we have our first branching path. The Isle of the Druids is sort of set up as like the starting hub, and then the idea is that you can do all sorts of different things to really start your game. So every game starts here, but you might go A or B or C to kind of create a new start for your character. We have 3 options. We could follow him, scour the remnants washed ashore, or explore the island on our own. First things first, let's scour the remnants. No matter what we're going to do, we want to make sure that we grab everything. You find a small vial holding a reddish concoction. You bless your good fortune when you recognize it is a healing potion. Yeah, that's going in the inventory. Alright, let's follow the old man. Why not? During your short trip upward, the old man regales you with tales of your destiny and fate, continuously arguing with himself as he does so. Alright, so here we are. This is the Isle of the Druids. It's not much to see. Pretty jungly, if you have to ask me. I mean, it looks kind of jungly. Can we see the world map? Here we are. So here is the world map. As you can see, there is a lot. It is a very, very large world map. There we go. Alright, so let's head to the Obsidian Stones. You reach a hill covered with a circle of large obsidian standing stones. Despite the bitter wind that blows across these hills, the stones are unweathered and seem almost newly laid. "Here are the gates of the world," says the mad old man. The stones are laid in such a way that they form 3 archways, each carven with mystic symbols and runes of power. "Each gate will take you to a part of the world of Harkuna, though I know not where," explains the old man. Suddenly, he passes his hands over you, mumbling a prayer to the gods. You receive a special blessing. This allows you to re-roll any failed roll once. After making a second attempt at the roll, whether successful or not, the blessing is used up. Abruptly, he turns around and sets off down the hill, babbling to himself. His voice fades as he descends the hill, leaving you alone with the brooding stones and the howling wind. There are 3 stones engraved with the ancient runes. Each gate is marked with a name: Yellowport, Marlock City, and Wishport. From here, you can see the coast and the whole island, which is heavily forested. So we could again go back and explore the island, or we could step into one of the archways. I think we're going to do that. We're going to step into an archway here. So we'll remember from our tiny little blurb, right when we were setting up Torgrim here, that Yellowport, the guild there, has need of adventurers. So I think that's a serious place to start. That makes sense to us. So let's go. We're going to step through the portal, or through the Yellowport Arch. You step through the archway. Immediately, the symbols on the stone begin to glow with red-hot energy. Your hair stands on end and your body tingles. A crackling nimbus of blue-white force engulfs you. The sky darkens, and thunder and lightning crash and leap across the heavens. Suddenly, your vision fades, and everything goes black. When your sight returns, you find yourself at the gates of a large city, set on an ochre-covered river. A vile stink of brimstones permeates the air. You wrinkle your face up in disgust and gag involuntarily. "Welcome to Yellowport," says a passing merchant. I'm just going to take a very quick break here and just check my audio levels to make sure I kind of have this dialed in with the music and everything. I will be back in just a moment. All right, everybody, we're back. Oh, hang on. Let me put this game audio back up for you. There we go. Hey, everybody, we're back. First recording session, you know, you can do a couple tests to make sure that the audio are working, but you never really know until you get into it. Yellowport. It's the second largest city in Socara. It is mainly a trading town, and is known for its exotic goods from distant Ankon Konu, way to the south. The Stinking River brings rich deposits of sulfur from the Lake of the Sea Dragon down to the town, where it is extracted and stored in the large waterfront warehouses run by the Merchants Guild. From here, the mineral is exported all over Harkuna. Unfortunately, all that sulfur has its drawbacks. The stink is abominable, and much of the city has a yellowish hue. The river is so full of sulfur that it is virtually useless as a source of food or drinking water. However, the demand for sulfur, especially from the sorceress guilds, is great. Politically, much has changed in the past few years. The old and corrupt king of Socara, Corrin VII, has been deposed and executed in a military coup. General Grieve Marlock and the army now control Socara. The old council of Yellowport has been indefinitely dissolved, and a provost marshal, Marlos Morlock, the general's brother, appointed as military governor of the town. To leave Yellowport by sea, buy or sell ships and cargo, go to the harbor master. So this is the map of Yellowport. Let's have a quick look around us. So here we are. This is Socara. This is the sort of country that we are in. Yellowport being a fairly major city. It looks like there's another couple cities kind of over here, but we can't really see too much. We have a few places that we have to go, or we can go and check out, but we're going to stay here in Yellowport. Adventurer sheet. So this is us. Looks like we have ourselves an axe, the healing potion we found, our ring mail, and we're carrying 216 shards, which is money. It's gold, for lack of a better term. We have no quests. Okay. And there's a whole bunch of stuff over here that we don't really need to know about. So let's dive right in. First thing you do when you go to a town, you go to the tavern. Off we go. The Gold Dust Tavern is a plush inn besides the city gates. The tavern costs you 1 shard a day. Each day you spend here, you can recover 1 stamina point if injured, up to the limit of your normal unwounded stamina. So our stamina is your hit points. So right now we have 12 hit points. If that ever reaches 0, it's game over, my friends. Let's spend some of our $216. Let's buy drinks all around the bar and listen for rumors. That's why you go to taverns. All great adventures start in a tavern. You fall into conversation with Pyledes, a kindly old scholar priest of Molern, the god of knowledge. "Many years ago, the Book of the Seven Sages was stolen from us," he croaks. "News suggests that the Scorpion men are in possession of it. I need a young adventurer like yourself to travel to Scorpion Blight and return the book to me. In return, I can show you how to improve the skill of your choice." I would love to go to a place called Scorpion Blight and fight Scorpion men. That, great. You know what? We'll take the quest. Why not? And it can sit in our quest log for a bit. Pyledes' eyes light up with hope as you agree to his request. "Bless you, young adventurer," he exclaims with a relieved smile. "Return to me with the artifact, and I shall impart to you the knowledge that will aid your journey." You nod in understanding, taking your leave as the weight of this new quest settles upon your shoulders. So we can now check our quest log. Here it is. It's listed as a hard quest. Yeah, we ain't, we're not doing that anytime soon. As I said earlier, this game is unforgiving. And if you just go traipsing into Scorpion Blight to fight a bunch of Scorpion men without any kind of forethought or planning, they will kick your ass, and you will lose. So, especially because it's telling us that's a hard quest, we're going to come back to that later. What do we got here? Explore the Provost Marshal, Temple, Trade Guild, Market, House Stash. This is us. This is our little stash here. We have a nice little house. We don't have a house yet. We could buy one for 200 gold, but no. Let's check the market. So this is what they have for sale here. So we already have an axe, which is, what, 1 to 3 damage points. It's 1 to 6, 3 to 5 for the mace. Expensive, though. Ammo. Okay, do you have a shield? Do you sell shields? No, you don't. You have leather armor. We have ring mail on, so I'm not going to spend all 200 to get 1 extra defense. Ooh, rope. Yeah, we're probably going to need to buy that, but we'll come back to these. We'll take a look around the city some more. Lockpicks, can't use that. Don't really need any of this. Treasure maps. Ooh. And rat poison. Okay, cool. Let's go talk to Trade Guild as if we're not traders. We don't really have anything to do with that. Temple. I mean, let's go. Let's check the explore button. Let's do it. You walk around the smelly You walk around the smelly streets of the sulphurous city. The market is large and busy. At the corner of Brimstone Plaza, gigantic braziers burn sweet-smelling incense in an attempt to overpower the rotten egg smell that permeates the whole city. There are many stalls and goods for you to choose from. Your adventuring instincts push you to explore some of the back streets. I am not going into the city by night. That's how you get knifed in an alleyway. But we'll explore by day. Do we want to explore the poor quarter, the harbor? Let's go check out the harbor. While taking a stroll through the busy harbor area, you overhear a conversation between 2 merchants and learn the most profitable trading routes between Sokara and Golnir. You're positive that this new information will come in handy if you make a small investment in the Merchants Guild. Ooh, sure. The Merchants Guild of Yellowport is a large building of granite, plushly decorated inside to show off its wealth. Here you can bank your money for safekeeping, or invest it in guild enterprises in the hopes of making a profit. You hear that the guildmaster is looking for adventurers. So, like with this, it is a bank, right? You put money in it. You can also invest your money. That money is gone out of your inventory, and it doesn't kind of auto-load into your inventory. You would have to come back to Yellowport, withdraw the money. It's a stock market, right? Let's make an investment. Why not? You can invest money in multiples of 100 shards. Woo, that's a little too much for us right now. So no, we're good. Let's visit the Guildmaster. Guildmaster Vernon of Yellowport is surprisingly eager to see you. He is a hugely fat and bejeweled merchant, and he tells you that a group of ratmen have made a base in the sewers beneath the city. They come out at night and raid the warehouses and homes of the merchants of Yellowport. "We need an adventurer like yourself to destroy their king," explains the Guildmaster. "Without him, the ratmen wouldn't be able to recognize the face in the larder. We will pay you 450 gold shards if you succeed." Alright, sure, yeah, we'll take up the task. Vernon tells you that the sewers can be entered via an old, disused well in the poor quarter. When you're ready to enter the sewers, they will be accessible when you explore the sewer. Okay. So, again, let's check our quests here. Medium, rat problems. Again, we may not be ready for a medium quest. We'll see what else we can find. But man, 450 shards is good. And there was that rat poison in the market. How does this work? For 1 fight only. Against ratmen. I don't know if we want to do that yet. Let's talk to... That was the Trade Guild. Alternately, we can leave the city and go exploring. You know what? Let's go fight some ratmen. Let's do it. Okay. So what are we going to need? What do we want? Well, we're definitely going to buy a rat poison. We're going into the sewers. We're going to want a lantern. We're going to take rope, and now we are out of money. That's it. We are just fully broke. All right, this could be the end of us here. Wait, what's this little icon here? Powerful adversary. I don't know. I don't think we're going to do this yet. Is there anywhere? Let's do a little bit more exploring the city by day. Let's go to the area around the palace. A patrol of militiamen, mercenaries in the pay of the dictator, General Grieve Marlock, stop you in the streets. They decide that you will be arrested unless you pay 15 shards of tax. I don't have 15 shards. Refusing to pay your taxes, eh? Says their leader. That's a crime for sure. They close in around you. You'll have to think fast. I can make a charisma roll. So the way that this works, my charisma is 4, right? If you look at old Torgrim here, charisma is 4. So he's not very good at charisma. And we're going to roll 2d6 and add our result to it. Our goal is, I believe, to beat, if I remember correctly, the number. Not tie, beat. So our odds of success, 41%. Here we go. Ooh! Ooh, critical failure. A double 1. Ah. Alright. Let's use our blessing. Let's just use that blessing that the old man gave us. Come on, baby, please. Oh, there we go. We rolled an 8 plus 4 is 12. Successful charisma roll. You spin them a tale about how your poor brother, a mercenary in Grieve Marlock's personal guard, lost his legs in the fight to overthrow the old king, and that you've spent all your money on looking after him. Several of the militia are brought to tears by your eloquent speech. They end up having a whip around amongst themselves, your brother, and they give you 15 shards. Chuckling to yourself, you return to the city center. Ooh, that was close. That was close. We did not want to get thrown into prison. Alright, that's it. Let's go into the sewers. You climb down an old disused well in the poor quarter of Yellowport. It is dank, dark, and smelly down below. Such as a land... If you do not have a light source, you'll have to return to the city. We do. Let's follow the tunnel into the darkness. The dank tunnels, running with rivulets of foul water, take you deeper into the unknown. You mark the twisting passages with chalk so that you can find your way back. Shortly, you come out into a large, rough-hewn cavern, wreathed into shadows that dance and flicker in the light you have brought. A sound makes you start in surprise. Make a thievery roll. Oh boy, thievery is our worst stat. We only have a thievery of 3, and the target here is 11. Here we go. Oh, we rolled a 9. That gives us a total of 12. Well done, Torgrim. The sound was the click of a secret door sliding open in the wall of the cavern. With a swift motion, you step up beside it, back to the wall. A figure emerges, but you're able to ambush the ambusher. A deft blow to the back of the head sends the dark figure crashing to the ground. Another steps forth, however, shouting in a guttural voice. You recognize that these figures are ratmen, man-like creatures that stand on 2 legs, but which have the tail and hairy features of a gigantic rat. You must fight them. Oh, we're loading. Alright, I've never seen any of this. Usually fights are just dice rolls in the books, right? Combat plays out in rounds, with each combatant taking their own turn. Everything you do costs action points. So these are our 2 horrible rat creatures, a warrior and a shaman. The order of portraits at the top determines what order. Yeah, okay, classic, okay. Left click on the ground text to move. Once an enemy is in range, indicated in red, left click on it to attack. Okay. End your turn, okay. So I can spend 3 action points to get over to here. Let's rush this shaman. I don't like magic. So it's going to cost me all 6 action points to get over there, but like, what are we going to do? Haha! Alright, that's my turn. Shaman's moved up. You can also use special actions from the action bar. Click on a skill to start casting. If it's not instantly casted, okay, so we have what? Attack, defend, disengage. Movement does not, okay. Use item. Tactical assessment. Okay, we can get +1 damage. How many action points? That takes 3. Stunning blow is a rush attack. And how much is it? Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to tactically assess our opponents here. Okay, and then we're going to hit this rat creature. He's got 6 hit points. Bam, hit him for 4. Beautiful work, Torgrim. He swings back for 1, and the other ratman has now reached combat. So we're going to spend 3 action points, and we're going to try to put this shaman out of the... Yep, he's gone. Alright, that's good. And we are going to, I guess, just hit him, man. Alright. Other Ratman's now at 4 hit points. He takes a swing and misses. Finished him off. Look at that. Victory, my friends. Do we get loot? Do we get money? You gain 15 shards. Hell yeah. The Ratmen lie defeated at your feet. You find 15 shards on the bodies and a note which says, "Party, kitchens, tonight. Rank and file rats only. No officers, no king allowed." The rest of the cavern is bare, so you press on down the tunnels ahead. So party in the kitchens. Rank and file rats only. No officers, no king. Okay. After a while, you come to a cleaner area of the sewers. Part of the old city is now buried under Yellowport. It dates from the period when all of Harkuna was rolled by the masked ones of Utaku, before the people overthrew them. You come to 2 rotten doors. Names have been scratched onto them by some half-literate Ratmen. One says Throne Room, the other says Kitchens. You can hear gravelly rat voices from behind both doors. So the note that we have says that there's going to be a party in the kitchens. No officers, no king. So I expect if we go into the kitchens, it's going to be filled with soldiers, rat soldiers. And that the throne room will not be filled with rat soldiers. So we're going to enter the throne room. Gingerly you open the door. It leads to a curtained alcove, through which you observe the room beyond. It is a long, low hall, clearly an ancient Utakan temple, from the time when the mask lords of Utaku ruled all of Harkuna, but now part of the sewers of Yellowport. A cheap wooden chair has been placed on the altar to act as a throne. On it sits a large and extremely ugly Ratman. He has a tacky amulet around his neck, and a rusty iron hoop for a crown. About 4 Ratmen are kneeling before him, engaged in conversation. "But Scab," one of the Ratmans is saying. "That's great King Scab to you, Dawn Breath," bellows the rat on the throne. So we have options. We can bluff our way in, use sorcery, sneak in, or charge into the attack. Let's all be honest. Torgrim here, he's not very good at, well, anything except sword, face. Sword to face. His tactics involve putting the pointy thing in the squishy things that scream and bleed. So I think that's what we're going to do. There's going to be the king and 4 Ratmen. Ooh, in we go. With a martial cry, you draw your weapon and charge. You manage to cut down 2 of the Ratmen before they can react. The remaining 2 officers draw their swords. King Scab gives a cry of anger and leaps at you in desperation, swinging a spiked mace in his hand. So it's going to be 3 of them then. That's good. We've already knocked 2 of the opponents out with our charge. There they are. Ew, look at this guy. Oh, he is actually like a rat king. Oh, that's cool. Okay, yeah. Rat kings are weird and cool, and we're going to pop our rat poison now. Glug, glug, glug. 3 men in it. Alright, so this is rubble. Cost 3 action points to cross. So we can like try to hot gates them a little bit here. I think if we go to there. Here he comes. Next up, I'm going to use my tactical assessment. And again, that's going to end my turn. I have 3 action points. Let's defend. Why not? Here he comes. Alright. Big boss boys here. 100% hit chance for 3 action points. Should we stun him? No, we don't need that yet. What else is here? I haven't even looked. A warrior and a shaman. I'm worried about if the shaman has a healing. But let's just hit him. Oh, that was a hit for 6 damage. Well done. We're going to hit the king again. 4 damage. I can live with that. We'll end the turn. He swings back for 3 damage on me. Ouch. Now they've kind of got me surrounded. This other warrior is here. Let's hit the king again. King is dead. Beautiful work after a hit for 6. I do not have the ability to stunning blow. I don't have the action points, but I am going to hit this rat here, the rat warrior, for 5. So that leaves the rat warrior with 3 hit points and the ratman shaman with 6. Warrior takes a swing but missed. He rolled a 5. He needed a 6. And the shaman has stepped in. Let's finish off this warrior. Good hits, good hits. That is a dead warrior. And the shaman with 6 hit points. Ah, so close. He's down to 1. We hit him for 5. What do you got, buddy? Oh, he hits me for 2. I only have 6 hit points left. I should deal with this. Like that. That is a gone Ratman shaman. Well done, Torgrim. Whew. Good thing we had that rat poison, right? King Scab's rusty iron crown shattered when he fell, so you take the copper amulet from around his neck. Copper amulet. The only thing cheaper than is the life of a Ratman. Wow. Okay. You also find a chest in the corner of the room, but it is clearly booby-trapped. Oh, I only have 6 hit points. Try to open it with our thief skills? We're at half health. Let's do it. Oh, target's only 9. Okay, we have a 3, so as long as we roll a 6 or higher, we'll be okay. And we rolled a 6, so we equaled. So it actually was unsuccessful. We had to roll higher, not equal to. Your amateurish tinkering sets off the trap, and the chest explodes. You take the full force of the blast. You lose 5 stamina. Ooh, I'm at 1 hit point. You also find that the contents of the chests have been vaporized, except for a sturdy metal scroll case containing a piece of ancient religious text about the gods of Utaku. You discover from the scroll that one of the gods of the Udakin is called Ebron, and that he has 14 angles. You can take the scroll of Ebron if you wish. Sure. Yeah, why not? Back to town. Oh, my whole body hurts. We can turn this in, but we're going to spend a bit of time at the tavern instead, because good lord. It's going to spend us 11 shards, but we will rest until fully healed. I think that's the way to do it. There we go. Alright, let's go talk to our trade guild. Visit the guildmaster. Guildmaster Vernon is pleased to see you. You hand him the copper amulet, and he exclaims joyfully, "The amulet of King Scab! Well done indeed! We're given 450 shards as a reward. Hot damn. Okay. Well, let's invest. Let's make an investment here. We're going to invest just 100 shards. And we're just going to let that sit. We still have $300. Let's buy a better weapon. Literally, our job here is hitting things with sticks. What's a good stick? We could buy a great axe. What does that do for damage? 2 to 4 damage. And what do we do right now? What does our base weapon do here? No, I don't want to buy a spear. Get out of here. So 1 to 3 is what we do right now. The great axe does 2 to 4. A great sword does 2 to 7. For the same price. Why would you... Oh, it costs an extra action point. Well, we have 6 action points. Great axe costs 3 to use. The great sword uses 4. So we'd only be able to do 1 hit with the great sword. So I think what we'll do, we're going to buy the great axe. For 250 shards. That will leave us with 122. Ooh, he wants to buy some very fancy shit. Okay, hang on. Let's put that on. Equip the great axe. There we go. And then we're going to hold on to this axe just in case. Just in case something goes sideways with it. Do you have anything else that we can buy, my friend, that might be good for us? Armor-wise? Just that chainmail. It's not worth it. We also can't afford it. Classic problem to have. Yeah, we kind of can't afford anything else. We only have 100 shards, 122, so we'll leave it for now. We definitely don't want to visit the Provost Marshal. Like, we're not... I don't really want to deal with a military junta, you know? Let's go to the temple. We haven't done that yet. You are standing in the middle of the Plaza of the Gods, where all the temples stand in Yellowport. So there's 4 that we can visit. Maka, Elnir, Alvir and Valmir, and Tiernai. Let's start with Maka. The Temple of Maka, the terrible goddess of disease and famine, is a large underground chamber accessible via an ornate entrance in the middle of the Plaza of the Gods, where all the temples stand in Yellowport. Down below, the walls are bare earth. The ceiling is covered in roots of growing plants, for Maka is also the goddess of the harvest, who must be kept happy, else disease and famine will strike the people, their crops, and their livestock, bringing ruin to all. I don't really think we want to become an initiate or anything of the goddess of disease and famine. That seems unpleasant. Elnir. The Temple of Elnir is an imposing edifice of grey stone inlaid with yellow marbling. Elnir is the god of the sky and of kingship. He is the ruler of the gods. His dreams are the clouds before storm, says a passing priest. Okay. This seems to be who we're worshipping right now because it's giving the option to renounce his worship. Does that say on my adventure sheet here who I'm worshipping? No. Okay. We also have Alvir and Valmir. The Temple of Alvir and Valmir is built like an upside-down galleon. Alvir and Valmir are brother and sister, king and queen of the land beneath the waves, and masters of the sea. Their servants and soldiers are the souls of the drowned, and when seas are rough and storm-tossed, sailors say that Alvir and Valmir are arguing again. Oh, this also gives us the option to renounce worship, so... Okay, let's see who's last here. Tirnai. The Temple of Tirnai, the god of war, is built in the shape of a spear with a long pillared nave and an altar at the far end. Two massive stone warriors guard its gates. Tirnai is depicted here as the insensate spirit of war, a blood-drenched warrior with the head of a maddened jaguar. I mean, we're a barbarian. It seems to make sense that we would worship Tirnai, right? Let's seek a blessing. If you are an initiate, it costs only 10 shards to purchase Tirnai's blessing. A non-initiate must play 25 shards. The combat blessing works by allowing you to try again when you fail a combat agility check. I mean, we're really good at combat, though. Resurrect. So we have the option to become an initiate, but we're not really a priestly type. You know, Crom, I have never prayed to you before. That kind of thing, you know. Can we make resurrection arrangements? 200 shards if you're an initiate, 800 if not. Oof. So if you die and you have a resurrection arrangement with the temple, you're resurrected at that temple, and then the arrangement is null and void. It's basically your get out of death free card. But as you can tell, it is very expensive. We're going to leave the temple. So how are we on quests here? Let's take a look here. We've solved rat problems. We've got paid out. Quest completed. We have this Book of the Seven Sages. We're not doing that yet. I say we just leave the city and maybe go exploring a little bit. See what we can find. Okay, so we can go to Shadar Tor, which kind of looks like an obelisk. Trefoili, which looks like a ruin. We can go explore the riverbank. Or to Venefax, which looks kind of like a city. Let's go to the riverbank. Explore up the river a little bit. You are following the course of the stinking river, and it certainly does stink, laden with sulfur as it is. Test your luck. Roll a dice. Okay. We rolled a 4. Nothing happens. Thanks, game. Cool. Oh, there's a road tavern. Well, let's go check that out. You join the much-traveled road that connects Trefoil and Karanbaru. The traffic mostly consists of convoys of troops and supplies. Eventually, you come to the Weary Pilgrim Tavern, a way station between cities. The tavern costs 1 shard a day, and that's the recover stamina. So let's spend that 3 shards and buy drinks all around. See what's going on in the world. A trader from the far north tells a story about a great wizard, Targdaz the Magnificent, who was tricked by a shaman of the Horde of the Thousand Winds on the Great Steppes. He imprisoned Tardags inside a giant ruby and proceeded to loot Tardags' tower, but in his stupidity he opened the great wizard's casket of imponderables and unleashed a terrible storm that swept across the steppes, scattering many of the tribes far and wide. The shaman was killed, of course, but as far as anyone knows, Tardags is still trapped in the ruby, waiting patiently for release. Perhaps for another 100 years, who knows. One thing's for certain, it won't be me trying to get him out. So that's like a lead on a quest if we wanted to. It has not given us a quest, but we could travel up here into the steppes. Where are the steppes? Yeah, the Great Steppes up here. And yeah, there's even a place called the Ruby Citadel, but I don't think we're going to think too hard about that yet. Let's go to Trefoil. Let's kind of keep exploring this lower section here. The main road between Marlock City, Trefoil, and Karambaru is well maintained with regular guard posts. The Sakarans are nothing if not efficient. Test your luck. 2. Bad omen, lose 1 blessing. Joke's on you, we don't have any blessings to lose. You continue onwards. The city of Trefoil is a terrifying vision of apocalyptic destruction. It had once been a thriving crossroads town, but now it is a burnt-out hulk. It was almost razed to the ground when it declared for the late king during the recent civil war, and tried to hold out against the army of Grieve Marlock, the current Protector General of Sokara. It was then sacked by the General's mercenaries, and General Morlock is now trying to rebuild it. Craftsmen are hard at work anywhere. Unfortunately, there's nothing here but ashes and rubble. Alright, well, let's keep going. So we could go to Cursed Moor. Oh, that sounds pleasant. Or we could head on into Marlock City. Alright. Let's go poke our head real quick into Marlock City. Marlock City is a huge, sprawling metropolis, enclosed in a fortified wall, said to have been built 1,000 years ago by the ancient Shadar Empire. It is the capital city of Sokara. Morlock City was once known as Sokar, until General Grieve Morlock led the army in bloody revolt against the old king, Corin VII, and had him executed. The general renamed the city after himself. It is now a crime to call it Sokar. The general lives in the old king's palace and calls himself the Protector General of all of Sokara. Whereas the old king was corrupt, the general rules with a fist of iron. Some people like the new regime. Others are royalists, still royal to Nergan, the heir to the throne, who has gone into hiding somewhere. Outside the city gates hang the bodies of many dead people. Labels around their necks read rebels, executed by the state for the good of the people. You'd best behave yourself if you don't want to end up like one of them, grates a guardsman, nodding towards the swinging corpses as you pass through the great eagle-headed gates of Morlock City. Okay. Well, we could explore, trade guild, market, 3 rings. Let's hit the market real quick. We have a couple $100. Not that we can afford any of this. Good God. Oh, look. Oh, there's spell scrolls. Yeah, we can't afford any of this, though. Nice to know it's all here, though. And we're going to check out the tavern. The 3 Rings Tavern is a comfortable inn near the city center. Yeah. You can heal. Cost 3 shards. Buy drinks. An old troubadour tells an epic tale of adventure and romance involving 3 heroes, a princess, and a dragon. Afterwards, you find yourself talking to him at the bar. He tells you about the time he was captured by the man-beasts of Nerech, and that by soothing their savage ferocity with music, he was able to escape. The bard tells you of his lifelong quest to find the greatest story ever told. It is said that the god Sig, in his aspect as the divine bard, passed this knowledge to a mystic called Daemor the Hermit. He lives alone in a lost cave, awaiting a day when he can pass on the story to the one who finds him. I'm too old now to pursue the quest, so I pass it on to you. I believe he can be found in the foothills of the Spine of Harkoon, in the mountains to the north. Alright, so that gave us a quest to learn a kick-ass song. Oh, that's way north. Okay. Yeah, maybe one day. Our charisma and troubadouring is... well, it's not good. It's only 4. So, you know, I wouldn't be getting too excited about that. I think we are going to wrap it up here, my friends. But I'm excited about this start to Fabled Lands and the start of the quest of Torgrim. We're going to see where he goes. He has a wide world ahead of him, and so far a pair of quests. To kill the Scorpion people and return a book, and to find the ultimate song. One of these things is a bit more in his wheelhouse. We're right on the border of Golnir. So maybe what we'll do is we'll head back east and we'll sort of check out the eastern side of Saqqara before we head into a new continent. Although it sounds like right now Saqqara is a hotbed of potentially dangerous political activity, so we definitely need to be aware of where we step and who we talk to. My friends, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have yourself a wonderful rest of your Sunday. I'm assuming I'm putting this up on Sunday. If it goes up on Monday or another day instead, I hope your Sunday was good. A couple pieces of housekeeping, as always. Streams on Tuesdays. Videos go up as well on Thursdays and Saturdays, and I assume Sundays now. There'll be another episode of this. And if you ever want to watch any of the old videos, including the live streams, I recommend you go to the playlists tab on the channel. There we keep detailed records of everything we've played in playlists. Thanks for hanging out, my friends, and we're going to see you on the next adventure. Goodbye. Hello, the internet. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Adventures of Dr. Dropkick. I am your titular host, Dr. Dropkick, and we're back with more Fabled Lands. When we last left off, we began the adventure of Torgrim the Barbarian. He washed up shore in Yellowport and quickly established himself as a low-level adventurer by heading into the sewers and slaying a rat king and his tribe of evil rats that were plaguing the local merchants. As you do. We also picked up a quest to recover a ancient book from some scorpion men. That one sounds a little tricky, so I don't think we're going to do that one just yet. And we were also given a quest by a bard to find the greatest song or greatest story ever told. We're going to find out about that one. Torgrim, he struggles with music. It's not really his thing. He's more of a sword guy, so we'll see how that one ends up. When we last left off, we finished up here in Marlock City, here in Saqqara, which is a country currently just exiting a civil war. There's been a military coup, and things are very tense here in Saqqara still. So we have to be very cautious of where we tread and how we tread. I think what we're going to do, I think we're going to head up the Yellow River today, and we're going to head to, I think it's the, Yellow Dragon Lake, this lake right here. And we're going to see what we can find there. We're going to head up through Trefoil. We've already been in Trefoil, but it's kind of a nice shortcut across the plains here. Trefoil was a city destroyed in the Civil War that is now being rebuilt. The main road between Marlock City, Trefoil, and Karan Baru is well maintained with regular guard posts. The Saqqarans are nothing if not efficient, so we can just roll the die here. We rolled a 1. Bad omen, lose a blessing. We don't have a blessing to lose, so life just sort of carries on. Good. The city of Trefoil is a terrifying vision of apocalyptic destruction. It had once been a thriving crossroad town, but now it is a burnt-out hulk. It is almost razed to the ground when it declared for the late king during the recent civil war, and tried to hold out against the army of Grieve Morlock, the current Protector General of Saqqara. It was then sacked by the General's mercenaries, and General Marlock is now trying to rebuild it. Craftsmen are hard at work everywhere. Unfortunately, there's nothing here but ashes and rubble, so we'll carry on. To the riverbank. You are following the course of the stinking river, and it certainly does stink, laden with sulfur as it is. Test your luck. Alright, roll the die. Nothing, huh? Stung by a large golden insect. Wonderful. You are stung by a large golden insect. You have been poisoned by the sting of an insect. You have 1 point subtracted from your combat as you are weakened, although no ability can drop to 0. You are poisoned, but you can restore it if you get cured. So we'll have to go to... That's a Temple of Makkah, it says, to get that restored. Well, there's one of those. So we are getting -1 to our combat, which is offset by our Great Axe. So our combat is base 7. We get +1 for our Great Axe, -1 because we're infected. I think we should change our plans slightly. We're going to head back down to Yellowport, and we're going to visit the temple and get that fixed. It's one step away. We're right outside the city, basically. So, Yellowport is the second largest city in Saqqara. It is mainly a trading town, and is known for its exotic goods from distant Ancon Konu, way to the south. The Stinking River brings rich deposits of sulfur from the Lake of the Sea Dragon down to the town, where it is extracted and stored in the large waterfront warehouses run by the Merchants Guild. From here, the mineral is exported all over Harkuna. Unfortunately, all that sulfur has its drawbacks. The stink is abominable, and much of the city has a yellowish hue. The river is so full of sulfur that it is virtually useless as a source of food or of drinking water. However, the demand for sulfur, especially from the sorceress guilds, is great. Politically, much has changed in the past few years. The old and corrupt king of Saqqara, Corrin VII, has been deposed and executed in a military coup. General Grieve Marlock and the army now control Saqqara. The old council of Yellowport has been indefinitely dissolved, and a provost marshal, Marlowe's Marlock, the general's brother, appointed as a military governor of the town. Okay, so we're going to go to the temples. You're standing in the middle of the Plaza of the Gods, where all the temples stand, and we're going to go to Maka. The Temple of Maka, the terrible goddess of disease and famine, is a large underground chamber accessible via an ornate entrance in the middle of the Plaza of the Gods, where all the other temples stand in Yellowport. Down below, the walls are bare earth. The ceiling is covered in the roots of growing plants. For Maka is also the goddess of the harvest, who must be kept happy, else disease and famine will strike the people, their crops, and their livestock, bringing ruin to all. All right, let's ask to be cured. It is fortunate we have a chosen one of Maka at this temple, says the high priestess. Only the chosen ones have the goddess given powers to cure the afflicted. It costs 75 shards, only 30 if you're an initiate, to be cured. Ugh, we only have 116, but yeah, we want to get rid of that. That's bad news, bears. You no longer have sting fever, nor suffer its effects. Yay, thank you. Thank you. Goodbye. We are not a holy man. We could become an initiate of a temple, but we do actions through deeds, not prayer. Alright, back up to the riverbanks. Try not to get stung again. Test your luck. Can I skip this? Can I not test my luck? Because if I get stung again, I'm going to be very grumpy. Fuck. Alright, well, we're stung again. Good. So all that we've done is spent $75. It's going great. Oh, thank God I haven't gotten stung by an ow! The Stinking River has cut its way through the high ground here. On the edge of the chasm that overlooks the river lies the village of High Terrace. The locals are behaving very oddly. You watch the villagers lay out a fine feast on the village green. A pig is set roasting on a spit. Loaves of freshly baked bread are piled beside bowls overflowing with fruits, butter, and cheese. Lastly, the richest merchants of the village bring coffers full of silver which they set beside the table. To your amazement, instead of sitting down to dine, the villagers then scurry home and start closing the shutters on their windows. What goes on here, you ask? Why do you behave so oddly? The villagers seem quite frightened of you, but one old fellow has nerve enough to reply. The banquet is for the ghosts of the 3 travelers who lost their way in a storm, fell into our mill pond, and were drowned. When was this, you ask? 7 years since. They come every year on this night, and if we don't placate them with victuals and treasure, there'll be a mess of trouble. How do you know that? Old Megan tells us. She knows much about some things. Do you think she was always old Megan, or was she once just young Megan? Middle-aged Megan? Slightly over the hill Megan. That was a rough day when her name changed to that. Well, let's stick around. Maybe if all those fails, we can just recover our 75 shards from these poor villagers. Our options are to leave or stay out at night and watch for ghosts. We're going to stay. From the cover of a hedge, you wait until dusk. By now, all the villagers are safely indoors with their shutters tightly barred. As the sky is turning from velvet indigo to starlit blackness of night, you see 3 pale figures come loping across the green from the direction of the mill pond. They must be the ghosts. Seeing the banquet, they utter gleeful cries and start to devour what has been set out for them. Make a magic roll. Uh-oh. So our magic is 3. It's Torgrim's weakest stat. And the difficulty is 11, so we have to roll higher than that on a 2d6. So we need a 9 or better here. Oh, we rolled a 7. Failed. The moon begins to rise, making the ghosts seem to glow. They sit hunched over their feast like vultures, occasionally stirring their hands in the pile of silver coins and tittering eerily. So we can either confront them or stay hidden. So they're eating and they're running their hands through the coins. This doesn't feel like ghost behavior to me, so we're going to stay hidden and follow them when they leave. The other option is to confront them. But we are also still slightly spooked by ghosts and spirits and things. Being a mighty warrior, we deal with the corporeal. So we're just going to watch for now. Burdened by the heavy chest of coins, the 3 figures have left deep footprints in the grass. Real ghost behavior. Make a scouting roll. So we have a scouting score of 4, and the difficulty is 10. So we need to roll a 7 or better here on 2d6. We rolled a 6, so we tied it, so that is a fail. The footprints cross a stream, and there you lose them. After an hour's fruitless searching by moonlight, you are forced to give up and go back to the village. There you are admonished for being reckless. "What if the ghosts had taken you with them back to the graves?" says one man grimly. The next day, you resume your journey. Aw, bummer. Okay. Alright, Lake of the Sea Dragon. Let's go check that out. That was kind of our goal before we got stung by an insect. Ugh. You are up the stinking river, near its source, the Lake of the Sea Dragon. From here, the yellowish waters rush down to the sea. The smell of the bubbling, sulfur-laden water is abominable. The shores of the lake are swept by ochre waves, and the air smells foul. A sickly, pale green seaweed is the only vegetation that can survive in the sulphurous waters of the lake. A small fishing village, Cadmium, has grown up on the shores of the lake. So we're in the village now. We have the option to explore or market. First stop, always, baby, the market. So we could buy a smolder fish. Okay, no, I'm good. We also can't afford it. It's 60. Or we could buy a silver nugget for 165. Again, that's a little out of our range here. Let's go exploring. Here we have 2 options: to talk to a fisherman or hire a boat and go fishing. Let's talk to the fisherman. Fishing, you ask. Surely nothing can live in these poisonous waters. The fisherman shows you a bright yellow fish with grey stripes, saying, "Only the smolder fish has adapted to the sulphur. It feeds on the local seaweed. Mind you, the smolder fish is totally inedible." Why hunt it then? Well, each fish is worth quite a bit to the sorcerers and the like. We have a standing quota to fill each month for the magical colleges at Dwemer. The sulphur-laden organs burn a particular way. A very useful ingredient in certain magics, I'm told. And where does all this sulphur come from? Scholars say there's an underground volcanic vent. Others believe it's the breath of the sea dragon. Personally, I always drop a silver nugget into the waters once a month to appease the dragon, for his favourite meal is silver. Okay. So we could go fishing, but I don't know. Because the fisherman's talking about dragons in the water and silver, and I don't know if I want to risk that. We certainly can't afford the 165 shards for the silver nugget. So I think we're just going to leave. I don't think there's anything for us here. So we can go back onto the main road, which continues to push north. We could visit the countryside or the eastern road. I would like to sort of explore the eastern coast a little bit here. Yeah, just kind of... Like, where are we right now? There's Yellow Port. So, yeah, we're here, right? So, let's sort of... What's this quest? We have 3 quests? I thought we only had 2. Hang on a second here. Where's my quest log? Yeah, weird. It's given us, like, an extra quest icon. I don't know. There's only 2 quests here. Greatest story in the Book of the Seven Sages. Weird. Okay. Must be a boo-boo. See, I would like to explore this coast. Maybe we will tackle the scorpion people, or we'll give that a try at least. Maybe we can go up to Garambaru first. See if there's anything there for us. Alright, well, let's go to the Eastern Road. Let's do that. Let's start making our way back south. And we'll sort of explore this corner of Saqqara. You are on the road between Blessed Springs and Venefax. Pilgrims, the sick and injured travel this route to the holy waters of Blessed Springs to find salvation. I'm sick. I'm sick. Can I get cured? Roll the dice, test your luck. We rolled a 5. Blessed by a priest. Oh, safety from storms blessing. What does that do? Do I have that on my adventure sheet here? Doesn't tell me. Just says I have safety from storms. Great, cool. Right. Oh, Blessed Springs to the north. Let's go check that out. Maybe that can cure our sting fever. That sounds important. The village of Blessed Springs, nestling at the foot of a tall hill, has grown up around the holy waters, a special spring said to have healing powers. It has been fenced off by the villagers, and a priesthood appointed to supervise the supplicants who come to bathe or drink of the spring's waters. There is no market, but an alchemist has set up shop here. Okay, so there's a tavern we could explore. Check the alchemy shop. Oh, wow. Okay, so you are looking to buy and sell potions here. Looks like these are all kind of like one-off things. Not that we can afford any of this. We could sell our healing potion for 10, but no, there is nothing more important to us than a healing potion. Yeah, it looks like these all give sort of one-off bonuses, like a +1 bonus for a roll. So we don't need that in our lives. All right, let's hit the tavern. Tavern costs you 1 shard a day. Each day you spend here, you can recover. Now we're going to spend 3 of our very few remaining shards to buy drinks and listen for rumors. A few locals are discussing recent events. It seems some hideous beast has made its lair in a cave on the hill that overlooks the village. We're good at hideous beasts. Hideous beasts are in our wheelhouse. It's a gorlock, says a farmer, and it's amassed quite a bit of treasure by all accounts, lifted by its victims. A brave adventurer like yourself could get rich if you killed it. You'd be doing us all a favour as well. You ask what a gorlock looks like, but no one knows. Nobody's come back to tell the tale, says the innkeeper. There's not much else to hear. Interesting. Okay, gorlock in the hills. Hang on, let's leave for a second here. I guess that must be Cold Bleak. That did not add as a quest to our quest log, so. Alright, let's go back in here. Explore. You have heard stories of the Holy Spring and its healing powers. The village has basically grown around it, and you have limited places to openly go due to the guards hired by the priests of Maulern to patrol the area. Still, you think that you can pay a visit to? Well, we could go to the Holy Waters, talk with the owners of the alchemist shop, or explore Let's go to the Holy Waters. I really want to try to cure the sting. A wooden stockade encloses the spring at the gate. 2 militiamen stand on guard, and a priest, dressed in blue robes, sits behind a desk. 35 shards to enjoy the divine spa, says the priest. Alright, we only have 38, so let's do it. You find a wide pool of bubbling, electric blue water. It gives off a strong, invigorating scent, like crushed pine leaves. Alright, let's bathe in the waters. You strip off. And wade into the bubbling waters. The effect is astonishing. You feel a sense of well-being coursing through your body. If you are suffering from disease or poison, you are cured instantly. Hey! And can restore your abilities to normal. When you're ready, you leave the area. Okay, so that's way cheaper than going to the temple. Everybody remember that this is here. Write that down in your books. One of the other options was to talk to the owner of the alchemist shop or explore the hill. Let's talk to the owners. The alchemist shop is lined with potions, jars of exotic substances, herbs, and so on. Alembics and beakers bubble and boil, full of strangely colored liquids. The alchemist, a tall, gangly fellow with a beak of a nose, sells potions. The alchemist can make you some special potions as well, but he needs some ingredients. He needs an ink sac and 250 shards. If you pay the money, he will make you a potion of restoration. It can be used... Oh, it's a full heal as well as a cure. Okay. He also needs scorpion venom and 50 shards. If you pay the money and have some scorpion venom, he will make you a scorpion antidote. It can only be used once to cure the poison. Interesting. Okay, so maybe... I gotta write this down. Hang on. There's not like a note section in here, is there? I feel like there must be. Notes. Here we go. Personal notes. Oh, great. Okay, so... Gorlock in Hills over Blessed... What the hell is the name of this place? Leave. Go back. Blessed Springs. North of Eastern Road. Okay. Over Blessed Springs. North of Eastern Road. Sokara. Alchemist there sells scorpion venom, or scorpion antidote. 50 shards, scorpion poison. That will be good. I feel like that's going to be really important if we want to go and fight the scorpion people, because I expect that they're going to be very good at poisoning being scorpion people and all. Let's explore the hills. We have $3 to our name. You make your way up the hill. After a while, you spot a cave set into the hillside, a little further up. Judging by the human bones dumped near the entrance, this is the lair of a dangerous beast. Oh, this is the Gorlock, okay. Fresh tracks, some of a large two-legged, three-toed creature, lead from the cave into some nearby trees. It seems it is not at home at the moment, so we can make a scouting or magic roll. Boy, that font is not doing well for scouting here. So scouting is slightly better than magic for us, I think. Scouting is 4, magic is 3, so we might as well do scouting. Our goal is 11, and we have 4, so we need to roll an 8 or higher. Well, we rolled an 8. Successful. You recognize the tracks of those of the legendary Gorlock. You remember it is said to have backward-pointing feet, so the tracks it will leave will always show the opposite direction of travel. This means that the Gorlock is currently inside the cave. Challenge the beast to combat. You advance, weapon at the ready. As you draw closer, something rushes out of the cave with a shrieking cry. It is a Gorlock, a beast with legs like a bird and a body like a reptile, with 2 short forelimbs and a beaked lizard-like head. Its 2 legs do indeed have backward-pointing feet. You'll have to fight. Fighting is what we're good at. You know, if we were like a thief or something else, we definitely would have waited. It's got 14 hit points. Alright, so how does this stuff... we have the stunning blow. Okay, good terrain. Terrain is really in our favor here. Tactical assessment. We can get +1 damage for 4 turns. Alright, let's wait for this thing to come to us. I mean, does it really matter? I want to make sure that we get that first hit in. Oh, she fast, but not fast enough. Okay. Go get him. Or can we do the stunning blow? Bam! Alright, we stunned it. Rush forward in a straight line to any enemy, hitting it for 50% weapon damage and pushing it to an adjacent tile. And it's stunned for 1 round. Now that's on cooldown, so we can't do it again, but we did hit it for 2, and it's missing its turn. So now we get another turn. Give it a hit. Give it a hit again. Beautiful, beautiful. So we hit for a total of 5 damage for that turn. I think we're 7 damage, sorry. It's at 5 hit points of 14 already. It has a defense of 6. Okay. It deals 3 to 5 damage. I think we're going to be okay here. He did hit us for 4. That sucks. We should get like a bow or something at some point. Alright, hit it again. Hit it for 3. It's got 2 hit points. 1 more, baby. Here we go. Got it. Killed it. Legendary beast. More like legendary... bitch. With the Gorlock out of the way, you are free to investigate its lair. Inside the cave, you find 500 shards? Holy shit. A mace and a silver nugget. Oh my god. Dang. Alright. Cool. The village of Blessed Springs, nestling at the foot of a tall hill, has grown up. Okay, so now we've returned to the village. We are a little bit fucked up. But we have a lot of money, so let's just rest at the inn for a second here. Rest until fully healed. Alright, let's listen for rumors. Oh, it's the same one. Yeah, we've killed the Gorlock. Here's its head. Okay. Alright, okay. I think we're mostly done here at Blessed Springs, so we could go back to the Lake of the Dragon, because we have that silver nugget. So I feel... Oh, did I forget to take it? I think I forgot to take the things. Oh no. Oh no, can we go back? Damn, we forgot to take the silver nugget. You have to click it. It doesn't automatically go into your inventory. Fuck. Oh well. Alright, I'll just leave it there then. We don't need that. That's fine. I didn't want that mace anyways. We already have axes. Silver? Can't kill people with a silver nugget. Unless you throw it really hard. Oh. Alright, well, what's gone is gone. Let's carry on. Let's head south. Maybe towards the Scorpion people again. I don't know if we're going to fight them yet, but we have a lot of money now. We could potentially buy like a bow or something like that if we were to head back to Yellowport. To the Eastern Road. You are on the road between the Blessed Springs and Venefax. Pilgrims, the sick and the injured, travel this route to the holy waters of Blessed Spring. Test your luck. Roll to 4, nothing happens. Alright, Venefax. Venefax is a strange-looking village. It looks like a single gigantic building. All the houses are joined together to form a jumbled mass, and none of the houses have doors. The only way in is through holes in the rooftop. Ladders lead up to the roof, which in effect forms a network of streets that the inhabitants travel across to get to certain buildings. "We had to build it that way for defense," says a passing farmer. "You see, the Scorpion men from the south cannot climb, so they can't get inside the town." Scorpion men cannot climb. Got it. Wandering around, you clamber down a ladder into the long, low hall, the Venefax Market. A sign reads, "Closed on Thursday." Fortunately, it's not Thursday. And a stocky, barrel-chested man with piggy eyes introduces himself as Fours, the master of the market. There's not much for you to buy or sell in this provincial market. Items with no purchase price are not available locally. Oh, that's an old, from the... Because the book used to be like there was just like a large market section, right? And it would sort of list everything, but if it didn't have a purchase price, you couldn't buy it. So what do you sell? You sell some basic weapons. You do sell a short bow and a crossbow. You sell climbing gear. Scorpion antidote. That sounds like it's going to be important for us. They want to buy weapons and things. You want to buy an axe? Maybe? Yeah, I'm going to sell you this axe. No, we should hold on to it in case we lose our current axe. But I am going to buy a few things, because I think we're going to go take care of some Scorpion men. Okay. So we're going to buy Scorpion antidote for sure. Yes, possibly 2, but we'll get back to that. Okay, tell me about these weapons here. Short bow, range 5, combat no bonus, 1 to 4 damage, cost 4 action points. Sling is only 3, 1 to 3, but costs 3. The crossbow, 2 to 5 damage, range 4, action points 6. So the short bow has the best range. Lower damage and cost 4. I think we're going to buy us a short bow. Yeah, okay, let's do that. It's $50. Yes, and then we're going to buy arrow ammunition. We'll buy 20 rounds of it. It's going to cost us 40 shards. And then I think we're going to buy a second scorpion antidote. We can always sell it back if we need to. But I feel like having a second one of those is going to be good. Nothing else really here, unless we want to buy the climbing gear. But they said that the scorpions can't climb, so... You know, I don't know how much help that's going to be. Okay, cool. So, let's head into our inventory for a second here. And we're going to equip the bow and the arrows. Okay. Now, let's go to the inn. And we're going to buy drinks for the locals and ask them about the scorpion men. "They're vicious, evil devils," says an old peasant. "Like huge scorpions they are, save that they have the head and shoulders of a man. Intelligent, too. Forever seeking to pillage our town, but they can't climb up the ladders." A soldier in the local militia speaks up. "They hate fire, too. All we have to do is sit atop the town and pepper them with flaming arrows. Can't stand that for long, mind you. Things are getting bad. They've got a sorcerer now." A young man, blind in one eye and paralyzed down one side, says, "They've got a terrible sting as well. Venom did this to me," pointing at his eye inside. They hate fire. Where could we get fire? Hang on a second. Give me my map here. Yellowport seems like a likely place to get fire. Yeah, we're going to explore the town for a second, but then we're going to head to Yellowport. Let's chat to the villagers on the rooftop. You think of the places that could be potential interest to you in the strangest looking village you've seen so far. After a while, you narrow them down to a few useful possibilities. There's the villagers on the rooftop, and the healer. A small boy runs up to you saying,
"Help us! Help us! The man-eating blood Thursday Gobgobbler has got my little sister."
His mother, a flaxen-haired beauty, comes up behind him. "Surely you mean bloodthirsty, not Thursday." "Oh no," replies the young mother. "The man-eating blood Thursday Godgobbler is named because it hunts only on Thursdays, but it's not Thursday." We learned that. The boy's name is Mikhail, and his mother is Lynn. Her husband is away in the army, and her young daughter, Haley, was taken by the beast last Thursday. Apparently, several people have disappeared, never to be seen again. Please help us. So you're telling me she's available? Alright, yeah, we'll help them. That's what we do. We fight things with sticks. You wait until Thursday. Lydon tells you that the disappearances happened a little out of town, near an old farmhouse. As you leave town, you notice Fours, master of the market, heading in the opposite direction. Alright, hang on. Fours is closed on Thursdays. Let's follow Fours. After a while, Fours circles around, heading across the country. You can't see me. I'm squinting my eyes in suspicion. It wants me to make a scouting roll. Again, my scouting is 4, and the difficulty is 9. So as long as we roll a 6 or higher, we're going to be okay. We rolled an 8. We're good. We got 12 total. You trail Fours to the old farm. He goes inside, and you creep to see what he's doing. 3 rough-looking thugs are helping Fours get into what is obviously a monster suit. It's a bit like a giant hairy toad made of the hide of some animal stretched over a wooden framework. So much for the dreaded Gobgobbler. You wait by the door. As the thugs emerge, you club one to the ground, but you will have to fight the other 2. I have a cough here, sorry. All this reading gets to the throat. Fight! It's fighting time. What up, thugs? How's it going? You are... Yep, that's a thug. Well, one's a brigand and one's a thug. Not a lot of hit points on either of them. We have a very defensive place here. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to step up into our little defensive cubby here. We're going to swap weapons to our bow, but I don't think we can fire it because it costs us... Well, they're out of range anyways. So We will tactical assessment for that extra damage, though. Alright, come here, you nerds. Good, great. They can step over these, but, you know. So let's shoot one of them. Let's shoot the thug. With the bow. Daka! Oh! Just full-on killed him. Excellent work. Alright. We're going to swap weapons, because, well, this guy's got... How many action points do you have, Brigand? 4. So it'd be 1... Yeah, he could get up to us, but not attack us next turn. So let's swap back. Oh. Well, can we bum rush him? Yeah, we can. Bonk! Then we charge across the rocks, leaping directly into him and shoving him backwards with a stun. Then with a great swing of the axe, he loses his head, laying next to the body of his friend with the arrow in the chest. Maybe I'll start trying to narrate the fights a little bit more, you know. It's a skill I've been trying to work on is narrating fights, because it's good for, like, turn-based RPGs where not a lot is visible. After the beating, you served Fours and his accomplishments. Well, Fours wasn't there, but okay. He wasn't in the fight. You wake him up with a bucket of cold water. He's eager to run off, but the sight of a hardened adventurer, rather than a timid villager, he surrenders and confesses all. He terrified people with the monster disguise to keep them away from the farm. He and his men were kidnapping villagers, chaining them in the cellar below, and selling them to a slaver from Karimbaru for work in the slave mines. You find Haley and several other villagers down below in the cellar. "Don't hurt me," begged Fours. I've already forgotten his accent. "I'm only trying to make a few shards." "What, by selling your own people into slavery?" says one of the villagers, giving him a good kick. You lead them back to Venefax. Haley runs to her mother's arms for a tearful reunion. Lynn, the mother, gives you a suit of chainmail and a sword. Okay, now actually click these and put them in your inventory, you idiot. "These have all been in the family for generations. It's all I have to give, and you've been maintaining the chainmail, right? There's generations. If this is like 40-year-old chainmail and it hasn't been maintained... Fours is hauled off to the local magistrate for judgment. He will probably be sold into slavery. Yay! Alright, let's put that on. Because I think that's better than what we have right now, right? Defense plus 3. Yeah, defense plus 2. So yeah, let's put that on. We can sell the sword. We can sell the chain of the ring mail now that we don't need that. Yes, I like that. It's like, this has been in... It's the classic RPG thing. "This has been in our family for generations." Just turns around and sells it for 40 shards. Goodbye. And we're going to sell off this armor. We don't need that either. Okay. So let's go back to the... Let's go back into the Explorer here in Venefax, and let's go chat with the village healer. You climb down the ladder into a house with herbs and plants hanging on the walls, and shelves lined with pots, pans, and bottles of all sorts. Licorice. The healer, an old woman, can cure you of the effects of sting fever for 25 shards. I spent 75 shards at that temple, and this lady can heal me for 25. The spring can heal me for 35. That's all she does. Alright, let's leave, and let's head to Yellow Fever and try to figure out this fire situation here. Is there something here in the main town? Oh, let's check on our investments. Oh, I should read the description. I'm sorry. Oh, so we have 100 shards invested in the guild here. And to find out how well your investment's done, we just have to test your luck. Whoop. We rolled a 6. A loss of 50%. Oh, man. The guild broker tells you of any knowledge of the best trading routes. Oh, it is no longer relevant. Oh, man. No, we're just going to leave it. We're fine. Okay. Oh, we've read the Yellow Port already. I told you about the stinking sulfur. Okay, good. Market. Is there anything here fire-related? Do we have, like, fire arrows? No. An amber wand. So, there is definitely, like, a world in this game where you can absolutely just, like, focus on becoming a merchant and just, like, amassing wealth by buying and selling items from different cities. And that's always kind of an interesting way to play. Lockpicks. Give me a thievery +1. Scouting +1. The holy trinket. So these are things that you can buy and just like keep in your inventory to give you bonuses. Oh, we could buy a longbow, which is the better bow. We'll come back to that thought. He also sells... Wow, this place is all kinds of stuff. So he also sells scrolls here that will permanently boost your, like, defense or archery or weapons. Wow, oh damn, wow, okay. We can't afford that, though. That's 600. We only have 300. So here's what we're going to do. Okay, if we were to buy the longbow, that would be two... Hang on for a second here. Hang on, my brain's spinning. I'm going to take that off just to see how much it would be to sell that bow. So if we sell that, that's 40. That's not a whole lot. Is this significantly better, the longbow? So it's range 6 versus range 5. A +1 combat bonus versus none. Damage is 2 to 5. Damage is 1 to 5. I mean, the longbow is just better in every possible scenario. But if I buy that, I can't afford to buy treasure map, which is a treasure map. We're going to buy the treasure map later. Let's buy the longbow. I know I just spent all that money on a short bow, but off it goes. Yeah, we have 123. We're going to be okay. Okay. So, we're going to leave and we're going to equip that. God, we have like nothing. We only have armor. We have no helmet. Yeah, we're lacking a bit here. Alright, so we're going to go back to Venefax. And then we're going to head down to Scorpion Blight. We're going to do this today. Let's go. Mummy, I'm scared. Oh, we can... See, now I'm just ignoring things. We can delete this Scorelock note here. Okay. Okay, and, bestiary. Oh, cool. It actually shows us, like, the models. We fought 3% of the entries. Oh, in the different areas. Oh, cool. Okay. Alright. Huh. Sorry, I'm delaying at this point. Let's go. I'm a little spooked. You are on a rough track that runs between Venefax and the territories of the Scorpion Men, slogging your way through hot, dry scrubland. A hawk circles overhead, cawing harshly. A couple of scorpion men scuttle out of the brush to confront you. They resemble huge scorpions, but with a human head and torso. They also hold swords and shields in their human arms. The creature's eyes blaze with an unearthly yellow light, and they scabble towards you with frightening speed, whipping their stings up and around you. You must fight them. Okay. Maybe we can take one of their shields. Although we have a great axe, we can't really use a shield. Oh! He is just... That face is incredible. He's serving so much cunt right now. So 9 hit points a hit, huh? Jeez. Okay. It's bow time. We can definitely hit this guy here. We can hit them both, really. Poing. Okay. Not great, honestly. And with his speed, he's going to be, like, on me. I'm going to come... Oh, I don't have the action points to do that. Dang, okay. Let's swap... Let's stay here. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to head up 1. We only have 4 action points, and it costs us, what, 4 to shoot, right? So he's going to have to come around this way, which is good. This other one's further behind. So we're going to pop off another shot at this one in front of us. Torgrim draws back the bow. The longbow quivering with the tension. A release. The arrow sails through the air, striking the scorpion man in the shoulder. He grunts with pain, dropping to 2 legs, because he's got 6. He's got 1 hit point left. He stands, bloodied but angry. We have 2 action points left. He's going to be on us, so we're going to switch to our axe now. Oh, he's just... Oh, right, he has a range of 2. Shit, he can just do that. We only have 2 action points. Can we just, like, run up and hit him? No. Let's back up a step here. And just leave it for now. Force them to come to us. Build up our action points. Great, okay. So we're going to step forward 1. We're going to... Yeah, we have 4. So we're going to take a swing at him, which would then leave us with 1. Torgrim steadies his grip upon the axe, swinging it with a mighty cry, digging directly into the torso of the Scorpion Man, dragging him to the ground. With a grunt, Torgrim rips the axe out of the Scorpion Man's hide and turns to face the other one. Scorpion Man takes a swing. Torgrim takes a small hit, but shrugs it off, the armor absorbing most of the blow. Torgrim points at the Scorpion Man and says, "You're next." Bracing himself, he lowers his shoulder and charges against the Scorpion Man, crashing into him, pushing him back and stunning him. The Scorpion Man staggers back to his feet, but Torgrim swings with the axe at the downed creature, crashing past the shield into the hardened shards of the hide. The axe sticks deep, but Torgrim rips it free, the Scorpion Man screaming with pain as he stands back to his feet. Swinging at Torgrim, Torgrim dances aside, but the sword grazes against his arm. Torgrim stands fast, looks at the Scorpion Man, and tactically assesses him. With new knowledge of the Scorpion Man's weak points, I'll give you a hint, it's his head. Torgrim grips the axe and swings, severing the head from the body. The tactical assessment of the head is the weak spot was right. So we only took 2 points of damage, and we didn't get poisoned, which is great. The creature falls dead. You can squeeze a little of its venom from the sting. Oh, I have been poisoned. Shit. Okay, well, first off, we're going to take that. You've been poisoned by the Scorpion Man's venom. You have 1 point subtracted from your combat, thievery, and scouting. You are severely weakened. No ability can drop below 0. You're poisoned, but you can get cured. Okay, cool. You wander on until you come to a ridge. Down below, in a shallow valley, is a great mound of earth. Many barrows have been dug through it, and the Scorpion Men are crawling in and out. This is the mound of the Scorpion Men, their home. You know that the Book of the Seven Sages that Pylades wanted to you to get lies within the mind. Alright, let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. I wish I had fire. I don't. I have the lantern. Wait. Was there a torch for sale in one of these? We're going to back off. We're going to back off for a minute here. We're going to head back to Yellowport. Check to see if there's like a torch for sale in one of these. I feel like there was. I feel like I saw a torch somewhere. Maybe I'm just crazy. Oh, I don't want to go through Shadar Tor, though, to get to Marlock City. Alright, come on. Back we go. Enough waffling. It's time to be a hero. I just don't want to lose. We could quick save. Oh, we should visit the healer, actually, while we're here. Oh, that's the Sting Fever. That's not the Scorpion. Like, we do have the option to save the game before we do that. Oh, we have to fight these nerds again? Alright, fine. Fine. I've been wasting my time here. Alright, eat shit, Scorpion Man. I'm just gonna try to blow through this fight. Continue eating shit, Scorpion Man. Oh, I'm gonna do my tactical assessment. Why not? Oh, it uses 3 action points. I need like another action point in my life. Alright, they're in range now to attack me, so we're just gonna step up and hit him. He's gonna take a swing at me and hit me for 1. I'll bum rush him. I got no more action points. He's got 1 hit point left. I've got 8. I should drink that healing potion, though. Alright, victory again. There's no, like, experience in this. That's a thing to know. A major part of it is as you complete quests. Like Pylades said he would increase my skills. That's sort of how you level up, is by doing things. But first, before we do this, we're going to drink this healing potion. Glug, glug, glug. Is it possible, I wonder, to start with the bow and arrow equipped each combat so I don't have to... Yes, it is. Okay, cool. Alright, in we go. You wait until nightfall, then creep towards the mound. Make a thievery roll. Oh no, my thievery skill's 2 because it's reduced by the poison. And I have to beat a 9, so this has to be 8 or higher. We rolled a 7. Failed. You're spotted by a spear-armed guard. It gives an undulating cry of alarm, and many others swarm out of the mound. You have little choice but to run, with a pack of deadly killers close behind. Desperately, you try to lose them in the night. Test your luck. Alright. 5. The Scorpion Men cannot keep up with you. Scorpion Men cannot keep up with you, and you leg it back to the road. Maybe you can try again later. Damn. Okay, yeah, this is not happening for us. We've got to figure out fire or something. We're gonna chug down this potion here, this Scorpion Venom potion. Yeah, so it seems like no matter what, you come through this fight and you're going to get poisoned, which then makes the next section harder unless you drink the potion beforehand. But I do want to make sure that I am prepared for it. Let's head back to Yellowport. Is there anything I want to do here? Not particularly. Well, I think actually what we're going to do, I think we're going to call it here, folks. What a strange adventure it's been. We traveled up the river, got stung by an insect, wandered back, paid an exorbitant amount of money, got immediately stung again, kept going up north. We met a fisher. We didn't go fishing because that just seemed very dangerous. I'm sorry, a lake dragon? I'm not going in that lake. Maybe that's my fear of water speaking through. We ventured to the Holy Springs and we killed a Gorlock. And we head down to the strange town of Venefax and beat up a local slaver and then tried to fight some Scorpion Men and, well, it wasn't a good time. I'd say this was a successful adventure. Hey everybody, thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I know it's the last day of the weekend, my friends, but I hope it's a wonderful one for you. Don't forget that we have a lot of content coming up. We have streams on Tuesdays, videos on Thursdays, and Saturdays, as well as this series. So we got lots to keep you entertained. And if you want to go and watch some old stuff, please do. Hit that playlists tab in the channel. We keep everything very carefully organized in there. Friends, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to save this before I forget. There I am. Save. Yes. And I'm going to see you in the next adventure. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great rest of the day. Hello, the internet. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Adventures of Dr. Dropkick. I'm your titular host, Dr. Dropkick, and we're back with Fabled Lands. The story of Torgrim the warrior as he adventures across the lands of Harkuna and beyond. When we last left off, Torgrim had some real trouble with stinging things. A couple of insects really ruined his day, and we tried to make a go at these Scorpion Men. But it turns out they're overwhelming a little bit, so we're not quite there yet. We did hear a rumor that they are weak to fire, so our goal right now is to try to find fire. During our last quest as well, we visited the Lake of the Yellow or the Sulphur Dragon here. We didn't really do much, we just sort of passed on through. And we visited the Blessed Springs, and we fought a Gorlock there, which gave us quite a bit of money that we then spent on some fantastic upgrades for Torgrim. So, what our plan today is we're going to head back to Marlock City to see if we can find some fire there to go and fight the Scorpion Men with. And if we can't, we'll just sort of head north and see what else is there until eventually we find fire and we come back here. So Torgrim is currently in Yellowport, so we're going to head to Shadar Tor, and we're just going to kind of skip right across to Marlock City, okay? In we go. You are on the cobbled road between Yellowport and Marlock City. It is well kept by the Sakaran military. You spot a man up ahead, striding towards you. Suddenly, 5 or 6 bandits appear from the wayside to assault him. The lone figure executes a series of movements almost faster than the eye can see, and you see his sword flashing in the sun. Moments later, The bandits are all lying dead or dying around him. You stop to compliment him on his swordsmanship. The man, a grizzled veteran of many campaigns, regards you with steely grey eyes and says, "I've learned much of the art of war in my time. It's true." Impressed by his skill and demeanor, you venture to ask him to teach you some of these arts. He looks you up and down, with a critical eye. Make a combat roll. Now, it automatically made the combat roll for us, because our combat is 8, and the difficulty was 9, so it's impossible for us to fail, so it was auto-success. Don't even bother rolling. He seems to see something he approves of, because he says, "Perhaps, but first, you must prove yourself. There is a knight, a man of great evil. He is known as the Black Dragon Knight. Defeat him in battle, and I will teach you. Bring me back his Black Dragon shield, as proof of your valor." With that, he turns and walks away. "But how will I find him? And then how will I find you?" you cry. "Would you have me kill him for you as well?" he asks over his shoulder. "As for the second task, ask for me in the Blue Griffin Tavern in Karimbaru. My name is Yanrit the Sun." Alright, cool. So that's that off, or on the list, I should say. Nothing's been taken off the list, so we have to go find a Black Dragon Knight to prove how cool we are. We can do that. You come to the top of a windswept cliff. An ancient pillar of jumbled rock, pitted and weather-beaten, stands at the cliff's edge, like a broken finger pointing at the sky. Seagulls sing their songs of desolation in the air. Judging by the runes etched into the rock, the Tor dates back to the time of the Shadar, a race that ruled Harkunas so long ago they are lost in myth and legend. Let's have a look. You take a closer look at the runes. Make a magic roll. Uh-oh. Okay, so our magic is 3. We have to get 11, so we need to roll a 9 or better. We rolled a 7. Nope, failed. The runes mean nothing to you. Yeah, checks out. Alright, let's head down to the beach. You climb down a narrow track to the beach. The sea pounds the rocky shore, and the spray lashes your face. A mournful, yet utterly captivating singing suddenly fills your ears. You look out to sea, and spot several mermaids and mermen cavorting in the surf. "Come, come to us," one of them calls in a lilting voice that fills you with a yearning desire to plunge into the sea and swim out to them. A sanctity roll. Our sanctity is 5, and we have to get a 10, so we just need to roll a 6 or higher. Okay, we got an 8. We're good there. "How can I come out to you? I would drown in the sea. Is that what you plan?" you ask angrily. "Don't you know," sighs one of them, "the kiss of the merfolk gives the power to breathe the waters to one of your kind for a short time." The others laugh mischievously. "We have no reason to go into the water. We need fire, not water, and we're weighed down by all this equipment. I don't trust this at all. We're going to walk away." Now you come to the top. Okay, we're going to continue along the road. I do not trust those mer people to have my best interests in mind at the moment. Marlock City is a huge, sprawling metropolis, enclosed in a fortified wall, said to have been built 1,000 years ago by the ancient Shadar Empire. It is the capital city of Sokara. Marlock City was once known as Sokar, until the general Grieve Marlock led the army in a bloody revolt against the old king, Corin VII, and had them executed. The general renamed the city after himself. It is now a crime to call it Sokar. The general lives in the old king's palace and calls himself the protector general of all of Sokara. Whereas the old king was corrupt, this general rules with a fist of iron. Some people like the new regime. Others are royalists, still royal to Nergan, the heir to the throne, who has gone into hiding somewhere. Outside the city gates hang the bodies of many dead people. Labels around their necks read rebels, executed by the state for the good of the people. "You'd best behave yourself if you don't want to end up like one of them," grates a guardsman, nodding towards the swinging corpses as you pass through the great eagle-headed gates of Marlock City. Alright, so we're here specifically to visit a merchant, to see if we can get something fiery that we can maybe use. Amber Wand. No, that just boosts our magic. Cleansing Flame. Oh, that's a spell. Okay, that's not... No, it doesn't look like he sells a whole lot here. Or buys, or sells or buys, or sells or buys. He's not looking to buy. He's not looking to sell. Hang on. He's not looking to sell fire stuff. Okay, he does sell a healing potion, which might be good to buy, because we don't have one. So we are actually going to spend the shards on that. Okay. Merchants Guild? Trade Guild? Let's check in our investments. To find how well you're in... We have currently 50 shards invested. Let's roll some dice. 5. Lose 50%. Excellent. Okay, so let's head on out of here. And we're basically going to go north, because we've sort of done... It's tough to show, right? Because it doesn't highlight beyond our immediate reach. But we've just sort of done like this triangle here, encompassing the sort of lower left to upper right to lower right. So we haven't really gone upper left, and there's quite a ways north that we haven't gone. We haven't passed over this mountain range yet. So let's head to the Cursed Moor, or maybe even the river mouth, and see what we can find here. Cursed Moor. You are trekking across the aptly named Cursed Moor. A great rolling expanse of blasted heath stretches before you. Gray clouds hang over a mournful, dirty water-colored plain, studded with rocky outcrops and low hills. A raven flutters to the ground nearby, eyeing you curiously. His brothers call loudly into the echoing sky. Dusk falls, and in the dim twilight, a herd of horses comes streaking out of the night straight at you. As they near, it seems to you that their hooves are not touching the ground, and from their manes trail wispy clouds of sparks, like tiny stars. We can either get out of the way or mount one. Again, Torgrim he fears sorcery, he fears the unknown. What he does trust is steel, so he's going to get right out of these horses' way. The horses rush past you. They seem to gallop through the air, whinnying and neighing, bellowing at the twilight sky. They soon disappear from your sight. You make camp, and the next day, continue your journey. That sounds like something a wizard would be interested in, but we're not doing that. Oh, Devil's Peak, the River Grim. Let's head to Devil's Peak. Let's kind of make our way up towards this fortress here, I think. You are crossing the western wilderness, an expansive, wild, sparsely populated countryside. A few trappers and woodsmen make a living from the natural resources in the area. A tall spire of rock, a towering anomaly of geography, rises up into the clouds, dominating the horizon. A local hunter tells you it's known as Devil's Peak, and that the summit is infested with demons. Demons? Let's go check out some demons. We can fight a demon. Weird ghost horse? No. But demons? They die. Let's climb the peak. You are standing at the bottom of Devil's Peak. It is a massive tower of black rock, like a stone tree trunk, bare and branchless, climbing up into the sky. You cannot see the top, for it is shrouded in gray clouds. Thunder and lightning play about the clouded summit. The sides of the peak are almost sheer, but there are many hand-and footholds. It can be climbed, but only if you have some climbing gear. Well, we don't, so we cannot do that. But I'm going to add that to my notes here. Devil's Peak, need climbing gear. Got it. Cool. Okay. Alright, well, let's head to the Road Tavern real quick. Stop in, have a brewski, you know. You join the much-traveled road that connects Trefoil and Karimbaru. The traffic mostly consists of convoys of troops and supplies. Eventually, you come to the Wary Pilgrim Tavern, a way station between the cities. Okay, let's buy drinks and see what we can find. A trader from the far north tells a story about a great wizard, Targdaz the Magnificent, who was tricked by a shaman of the Horde of the Thousand Winds on the Great Steppes. He imprisoned Targdaz inside a giant ruby and proceeded to loot Tardaz's tower. But in his stupidity, he opened the Great Wizard's casket of imponderables and unleashed a terrible storm that swept across the steppes, scattering many of the tribes far and wide. The shaman was killed, of course, But as far as anyone knows, Todd Eyes is still trapped in the ruby, waiting patiently for release. Perhaps for another 100 years. Who knows? One thing's for certain, it won't be me trying to get him out. There's not much to hear. Interesting. Okay. This is why you don't play around with sorcery. Alright, main road. The road is nearly blocked by wagons and supply convoys. A troop of soldiers forces its way through the throng. The men bang heads indiscriminately to clear people out of your way. Alright, let's test our luck. 3. Nothing happens. Alright, good talk. So we can go to the countryside. Or we haven't been in the forest, but no, we're going to go north to Karanbaru. We're going to head into the city. Karanbaru is a medium-sized town that acts as a way station between the citadel to the north and the rich towns of the south. It is a garrison town. Many supplies, arms, and soldiers move through Karanbaru on the north-south trail. Shops, temples, traders, and the like have sprung up here to serve the needs of the military. There is also a sizable mining community, for the mines of Saqqara lie in the Bronze Hills just outside town, and a slave market where poor unfortunates sold into slavery are bought for work in the mines. The Karanbaru market consists of several covered arcades. Much of its stock is for minerals and soldiers, and it is run with a business-like efficiency by the Saqqara military. Okay, so let's check the market. Oh, they sell plate armor here, way out of our budget, but anything else interesting? Not really. Brawler. Okay, teaches a new skill. Yeah, there's not much for us here. Okay. Any new temples? No. Let's visit the inn. The Blue Griffin Tavern is frequented by soldiers and mercenaries. Okay. We're gonna ask about Yarant the Sun while we're here. You ask the innkeeper about Yarant the Sun. He looks at you oddly, clearly unsettled by your question. Some say he's the god of a mortal woman and the god Tianai, but he has not been here for some time. Suddenly, he stops and stares in amazement at the corner of the tavern. You turn, look, and there, hunched over a stoop of ale, is Yarant the Sun. He greets you.
Hello!
We don't have the shield, so...
Still haven't found him, he says. Did you try the castle of Dragon Knights to the west of the Bronze Hills?
As he turns and leaves, he says,
Will you have better tidings? I will return here.
You follow him, but he's nowhere to be seen. Alright. Let's buy, while we're here, let's buy some drinks and look for rumors. Oh, up Bronze Hills. The Bronze Hills. Let's check this world map here. Yeah, so according to the map here, that's even given me a quest marker. There is a castle right there. Oh, and there are the Bronze Hills. Perfect. Okay, cool. Sorry, so back into it here. You hear an interesting story about one of Baroness Ravine's knights in Golnir. Apparently, he is plotting against her.
Intrigue and treachery in the court of the Baroness,
mutters a man before his voice fades to a whisper. There's not much else to hear. Alright, let's explore. You walk the dusty streets of the garrison city in search of the only option is the slave market. The slave market is a large, canvas-covered square. The poor unfortunate slaves, people from all over Harkuna, from the Feathered Lands, Golnir, criminals of Saqqara, nomads from the steppes are paraded in chains on a dais. Merchants and nobles bid for slaves they want. An unusual sale has come up, a little furry bat-winged humanoid. It is one of the mannequin people from Sky Mountain in the north and is going for 50 shards. We can't afford that, we only have 37, so... Okay, well, because we lost all that money in the stupid stock market, let's go to the Bronze Hills, and then from there we can keep going west to the tower and see if we can find this Black Knight. You are walking through the Bronze Hills. Virtually this whole area has been given over to mining. Everywhere quarry and mine shafts abound. It is a horrible expanse of torn-up earth. Hardly any areas of green are left. Great heaps of excavated rock, leached of their useful minerals, mar the landscape. You find a quarry that is open to the public. That is to say, if you pay 50 shards, you can dig for an hour in their silver mine. Again, can't afford it. We're broke. Stupid investments. Let's head to the Dragon Knight's castle. I'm sure they'll be very welcoming of me. You are wandering across the wilderness of northwestern Sokara. There is a magnificent castle nearby, with many different pennants flying from its towers. As you draw near, you see that the pennants all represent different colored dragons. The red dragon, the black dragon, the green dragon, and so on. Outside the gates, a jousting list has been set up, and a few warriors are trying their hand against some knights who have dragon symbols on their shields. A knight, in full plate armor, rides up and says,
"Welcome to the castle of the Dragon Knights." Oh, hang on, it's going to open my visor.
"Welcome to the castle of the Dragon Knights. It is our custom to joust against all who would come here, for a wager, of course." He explains that you must bet the weapon and the suit of the armor that you will use for the joust. If you lose, you forfeit the weapon and the armor. If you win, you gain the armor and weapon of the knight you defeat. Most of your opponents, you notice, would be using sword and plate armor. Ah, that's tempting, but our combat is very high. 8, I think the top tier is 12, so we are 8 out of 12. What we're going to do, we're going to equip just a regular axe. We're going to try to game this a little bit. Yes, we could lose our chainmail, but then we would just lose this like loser axe. We'd still keep our great axe, which is pretty good. Alright, let's do it. Take the wager and joust. Decide which weapon and armor you will be used in the fight. These are the ones you are betting with. Because it is not a fight to the death, your weapons are padded, so even if you drop the stamina 0... Oh, it's just like a fight-ass fight. Alright, hang on. That's it, we're gonna kick this guy's stupid butt.
Fight.
Alright, so we've got 4 knights here. Okay, blocks the path. So I'm thinking we can probably hide up in this corner here and at least reduce, or we could block them up here. I think that's the way to go. Although that is crossable. Alright, first off, switch weapons. Let's get our bow out. And then 4 action points. 100% hit chance on this green knight here. He's got 10 hit points. We're going to draw back the bow till our arm is quivering with the tension and fly. Solid hit for 3 damage. Now we have 1 action point. How fast are you guys? Does not say. They have 4 action points though, so they're going to be able to move pretty far. I'm going to back up into this corner. Oh, I can't. Well, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, perfect. Great. Okay, let's let fly again. Aha! Great. Alright, Green Dragon Knight only has 3 hit points left. We're going to swap back to our axe and shield. It's crumpin' time, boys. Alright, Green Knight is here. Hello, friend. I'm going to use 3 of my 6 action points to... actually, I'm going to use my tactical assessment first. Gives me +1 damage on everything. Then, we're going to swing at him with the axe. Bonk! 1 dead... Sorry, unconscious Green Knight. Alright, now here comes the Blue Dragon Knight with that dope sword. Look at him. He's cool. Alright. We're going to hit him with the... Actually, we're going to sprint across here, and we're going to hit the Red Knight with the stunning blow. Try to keep them separated as best as we can. Bonk. Good. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's the turn. That was 2 damage to the Red Dragon Knight. Alright, now we're going to take a swing at the Red Dragon Knight. Knock him down to 4. And then we're going to take a swing at him again, because we could kill him. Perfect, that's 1 more dead Dragon Knight. Great, so now it's just the Blue Dragon Knight. He takes a swing at me and he misses. Ducking deftly to the side, Torgrim reverses the grip upon his axe and slams into the Blue Dragon Knight for 5 of his 6 hit points. The Blue Dragon Knight stumbles down to the ground upon 1 knee and raises his shield to defend. Taking a swing at Torgrim from below the shield, Torgrim is not able to leap aside and takes a blow to the knees. But still standing, Torgrim turns back and swings, bringing the Blue Knight low. Torgrim
is victorious.
The Dragon Knights are impressed with your combat skills. Your opponents come round, ruefully rubbing their necks. Grudgingly, they admit to be your superior skill, and one of the knights hands you his ordinary sword and a suit of plate armor. Cool, don't forget to take them. Great, we're going to put that plate armor on now. Defense plus 5, yeah, it's 2 steps higher than... Yeah, it's 2 steps higher than my current one, so absolutely, let's put that on. Alright. Make move. Back here. No, I guess maybe I have to leave and come back to trigger the Black Knight. Hang on. Yep, back we go. Leave. Seek the Black Dragon Knight. You are looking for the Black Dragon Knight on a quest set to you by Yanrit the Sun. You ask the knight if he's here.
The Black Dragon Knight? Oh, shit, how about that?
The Black Dragon Knight? Yes, he is, replies one of them. But he fights only to the death. There is no wager save the greatest for them all. That is to say, life itself. You know what? I'm going to cheat a little bit here. I'm going to create a save. I don't like doing this, but... There we go. Alright, let's fight this guy. The Black Dragon Knight comes out to meet you. His armor is of black steel, and you think you can see glowing red eyes through the slits in his full-face helm. You must fight him. He's a nerd. Oh, he's got a lot of stuff to get around. There he is. He's got 15 hit points. Alright, well, let's give him the old Daka here. Once again, the bow comes out. Torgrim notches an arrow, stretches back, and lets fly. Soaring through the air, the arrow bounces off the knight's armor, but still enough to dent a plate in and cause a bruise for 2 damage. The knight comes closer. Torgrim backs up a step, draws another arrow from the quiver, and lets fly. 3 damage caused to the knight as it embeds itself into the meat of his thigh. The knight continues his approach. Torgrim deftly drops the bow, draws forth the axe and shield. No, he doesn't actually have a shield, it's a great axe. Draws forth his great axe and charges the knight, smashing him aside and stunning him. The knight, dazed, struggles to get back to his feet. Torgrim lifts the axe on high and swings it down in a crushing blow against his back. 3 additional damage, smashing the knight back down to the ground. The Dark Knight rolls off to the side and lunges forward back up to his feet, his shield smashing Torgrim aside for 2 damage. Torgrim, dazed but still standing, swings back with the blade of his axe, smashing in for 4 damage. And again, for 4 more damage, the axe shattering through the shield and the arm, embedding itself in the knight's chest. Torgrim is victorious. The other knights are amazed by your skill, and they seem quite pleased that the Black Dragon Knight is dead.
He was an evil man,
says the Green Dragon Knight. You take the Black Dragon Shield. Okay. I mean, that is a shield, but we don't use shields. Shields are for, like, losers. Alright, let's head on back to Karimbaru. Alright, so we're back here in Karimbaru, and we're going to go talk to Yanrit the Sun. Give him the Black Dragon Shield. You hand him the Black Dragon Shield.
You are indeed worthy,
he says. And you will teach me your fighting arts? You ask.
You've already learned all I can teach you. You just hit them. You just hit them really hard.
You realize what he says is true. Your defeat of the Black Dragon Knight has taught you much. You gained 1 rank. Hey, so this is like the level up system. There is an experience, but certain feats will gain you ranks that will bump up your stats. So my maximum stamina has now been increased permanently by 2. So instead of 12 hit points, we now have 14. And we've gained a new skill. Okay. archery. That's additional damage with crossbows and slings, or additional offense with crossbows and slings. Books and scrolls. Oh, that's swords. So this gives us varying bonuses depending on the type of weapon we're using. Combat skills is an extra defense. I'm thinking book weapon mastery. Because while we're using an axe, we'll have a 40% crit chance. Do we have any crit chance right now? Crit chance is 3. 3%. So this would take us up to, if I'm reading this right, I'm assuming it stacks on top of 3, and it's not 40% of 3. So let's take that. Alright. Your gain in rank has taught you much. You feel tougher, luckier, and generally better able to deal with trouble. You look up, but Yanner at the sun has gone. Alright. Well, let's read this real quick. Learn. Okay. I have the axe equipped, so I'm going to assume that that's helped me. It still says my critical chance is 3, but I'm just going to sort of assume we're good there. If I equip a sword, yeah, it just says no bonus. I'm just going to assume that worked. Oh, we do have a resurrection deal. Interesting. I guess I must have just generated one when we started the game, because I definitely didn't pay for that. All right. Okay. Well, you didn't get any money out of that, unfortunately. Okay, let's head out. We could go to Cold Bleak Mountains, the farmlands, the northern roads. The Bronze Hill doesn't really hold too much for us. Let's head to Cold Bleak. Seems like the kind of place you'd find fire. Maybe. The Cold Bleak Mountains look as inhospitable and forbidding as their name implies, their frozen flanks climbing high into the icy clouds. Well, up we go, climbing into the mountains. Again, we don't have climbing gear. It is a tough climb upwards, but not impossible. So our options are have some climbing gear, which we don't, or climb up the old-fashioned way. You decide to give it a shot and test your rock climbing skills. We're making a scouting roll. We have scouting 4. Difficulty is 10, so we need a 7 or higher. Oh, yeah, we rolled an 11. Hell yeah. You clamber up until you come to a mountain track. It rises up between a cleft in the rocks ahead of you. A man steps out in front of you. He is clearly a soldier, but his clothes are rough and ready. It is as if he has been living in the wild for some time. A deserter, perhaps. We can talk to him or attack. Let's just talk. Oh, boy.
Who is the rightful ruler of Sakara? General Grave Marlock, or the son of the old king, Nargan Korin?
Asks the soldier. Alright, so. Hang on. This is an interesting one. So we have this dude here who's living in the mountains. He's a soldier, but he's looking all scrofulous. Right? Grieve Marlock was the one who executed the old king in a military coup, and Nargan Korin is the rightful heir. I think this soldier is a supporter of the sun. Everything about this feels like this dude is not part of the current ruling group. So we're going to say Nargan Korin, the sun.
That's fortunate for you,
says the soldier. Several archers stand up from their hiding place behind the rocks overhead. Another soldier, a captain, comes up to you and introduces himself as Captain Vorkung. He is clearly one of the old aristocracy, the nobles loyal to the king and the old regime before General Marlock and the army seized power and executed the old king. Vorkung tells you to leave the mountains. You have found a rebel base, men still loyal to Nargan Korin, the heir of the throne. Nargan went into hiding when General Marlock killed his father and took control. We could just leave, but you know what? This could be a chance for money. What could be more generous than a king who has been returned to his throne, perhaps? Let's convince Captain Vorkung that you are on his side. We are just basically a wandering mercenary for hire here. We like hitting things with swords. It's what we're good at. And again, what could be a better potential patron than a disposed king who needs swords for hire? Ah, it's a charisma roll. Alright, so we have Charisma 5. Turns out we are quite handsome. And the goal is 9, so as long as we roll a 5 or higher, we are good. Bam, again an 11. We really convinced him. Captain Vorkung is impressed by your claims of loyalty to the rightful king. He decides you might be useful to their cause. You are led, blindfolded, through a secret passage to a mountain stockade. King Nergan gives you an audience in a makeshift throne room. He is a young and handsome man who seems committed to his country. He leads you aside into a private chamber.
I have need of one such as you, he says. Yellowport groans under the yoke of Governor Marlowe's Morlock, the brother of General Grieve Marlock. If you can get into the palace at Yellowport and assassinate Marlowe's, I'd be eternally grateful.
Oh, hey, giant barbarian man. If you could just casually get into the palace and assassinate my opponent, super helpful. Wow, that would be great. I mean, I guess we'll accept. Very well, says Nergan and smiles. When you are ready, the king wishes you well and leads you out of the stockade, back down the footholds of the cold, bleak mountain. Alright, cool. Yeah, I don't know about that one, buddy. Good luck. At some point, I might... Can I have 13 shards, maybe? Get me up to 50? At some point, we might... Who knows, man. Let's head to the farmlands. You are crossing an era of fertile farmland, where much of the food is grown to feed the army. Little farmsteads dot the landscape, and the plowed fields have the appearance of a patchwork quilt. Test your luck. Ding, 5. Find an item? Hell yeah. Found some leather armor? Great. Where? Alright, let's head to... Oh, there's like a series of forts along here. Fort Marith, Fort Esgard, and another one. What is this place? Nerech. Eastern Marches. Okay. Well, let's go check it out. Fort Esgard. Fort Esgard is one of 3 forts along the wall that runs right along the border. Their purpose is to defend Sakara against the ravaging man-beasts of Nerech, which are constantly trying to break through to raid the interior. The commander of the fort desperately wants to see you. My daughter, Alyssa, has been kidnapped by the man-beasts, he says. They're asking that I let one of their raiding parties through to attack the farmlands. I'm delaying my response as long as possible. If I don't do something soon, they will kill her. Please, I need a brave adventurer to rescue her. Sounds like you need a strong axe arm and a strong jawline. My friend, I'm your man. We will accept. So we can head into Nerech. We can also check out the other forts. But let's go rescue this daughter. There's a maiden in need of saving, and wandering around the countryside ain't gonna save her. You ask the guards of the gate to let you through into Nerech. As the gates swing open, a priest of Nagel, the god of death, steps forward and leads last rites over you. I'm not dead yet, you shout, shoving the priest hard in the chest. As good as, he mutters, between the chants of the rites. In we go. Nerech is a barren peninsula of wind-blasted rolling heathland. The sky is a dismal grey. A lone crow circles overhead, cawing mournfully. Wild cliffs overlook the sea. Inland, you see a tall hill in the distance. So we can go back. We can head down to the shoreline, or we can head uphill. Let's go uphill. As you draw nearer to the hill, something steps into your path. It looks like a man, but its limbs are strangely twisted, and its hands end in long black talons. It is covered in matted grey fur and wears little except an ornate iron helm, fashioned to resemble the head of a bird, that covers its head completely. So it's just dangling free? Got it. 2 red specks glint from within the helm. The man-beast howls at the sky and comes for you. Okay. There's an option to pull the man-beast's helmet over your head. Maybe we already have one, but it says we won't wear it or you don't have one. So the man-beast closes in. Another one just like it appears out of nowhere. You must fight them. Oh, we're running low on arrows. We should buy some more arrows, I think. Okay, cool. So... Oh, weapon mastery is a skill. It's not like a bonus. Oh, okay, cool. Alright, let's shoot a man in the face here. Look at these guys. Ew, they're weird. Okay, 10 hit points each. We have a nice rock here that we can hide behind as needed. Alright, once again, let fly with your arrows, Torgrim. I don't even know how many you have. Not enough, I don't think. Fire away! 4 damage to one man-beast, okay? Don't have enough to shoot again, so we will end the turn. Here they come. Let's keep firing at the same man-beast here. He's at 60% health. Boop. Another 2 damage. Okay, so now he's at 4 hit points. And I'm going to step back a square. It's going to buy us an extra shot here. I'm going to use my tactical... Oh, if I do that, I won't be able to shoot. That's the problem. But maybe we can kill this one man-beast off completely. Yep, there we go. Shot him to death. 3 arrows jutting out of his chest. Now we're going to swap weapons to our mighty axe. There it goes. Okay, so the weapon mastery is now kicked in. I see it up here. So this is going to give us 40% crit hit chance with the axe. We're going to start by stunning blow him. And that's our turn. And then we're going to hit him with our axe for 3. Good. Hit him again. He's down to 2 hit points and stunned. He hasn't even had a turn yet. Takes a swing at me and does hit me for 2. We're going to swing back and just absolutely take his head off his shoulder. Leading to victory. Okay, so the man-beast collapses. Beasts. Their bodies begin to smoke and burn, and then suddenly vaporize in a flash of incandescent flame. All that's left are their bird helms, so we'll take a bird helm. We don't even have a helmet. I'm going to put the helmet on. You raise the man-beast's helmet above your head. Who knows? Perhaps the wretched creatures are stupid enough to be deceived by mere appearances. So this is a sanctity roll. We have sanctity 5. We have to get 11. So we need to roll a 7 or better. 5. As you slip the helmet over your head, dozens more of the man-beasts appear on the scene. But by then, your vision blurs and your head begins to pound. The helmet is doing something to your mind, and it hurts! Oh no, we have magic of 3 and we have to beat a 14. We need to roll a 12. Uh-oh, 7. You try to wrest it off your head, but the cursed thing has attached itself to you somehow. Tendrils of something horrible extrude themselves inside the helmet and bore into the skull. Yeah, we're going to load from here. No, I can't. Oh, but if I load, because this will kill me, right? This will kill me dead. I could load the campaign, but no, we should just accept that it's going to kill us. I have to play this like I said I was going to. An unfortunate end to your adventures. However, since you arranged a resurrection deal, you do not fear death, as you know you will be magically restored to life at the Temple of Nagil in Marlock City. Oh, your stamina is back to normal score. Your possessions and cash are lost. Alright. Oh, that's rough. And we're back here at the Isle of the Druids? Okay. Okay. Great. Well, friends, I think that's going to end it for us for today. Oh, we still have our axe. Good. Okay, we still have our axe and our bow and our plate armor. That's good. So we've lost our shards. We've lost all of our gear down here, which does suck. But hey, man, that's life. That's life, baby. Alright, so we are back here at the Isle of the Druids. The trading post is a small village, set up here by enterprising settlers from the mainland. Its main export appears to be furs from the forest. The mayor, a fat, genial fellow who greets you personally, insists that one day the trading post will be a thriving town. There is not a lot here yet, However, a small market, a quay, the settlers' houses, and a shrine to Lacuna the Huntress, goddess of nature. Wow, we could go to the market and buy nothing. We could go to the temple and not get a resurrection deal. Oh no! Oh, that's brutal. I did consider loading the save. I really did. And you know what? I have to accept that I put on the helmet I shouldn't have. I thought it was a cool hat, and it turns out the helmet was just pure evil. So, that lady still needs to be rescued, and we're down here on the Isle of Druids, and we have nothing. We have no cash, no healing potions, no gear. I mean, we have our weapons, right? We still have our bow and arrow. We have our axe and our armor, which is great, but, so probably what we'll do... I mean, this is a good opportunity to explore the Isle of Druids, I suppose. Or we can just pop back into the Obsidian Zones and just teleport back to, like, Yellowport. And then go assassinate a general. What an adventure. And now you've kind of learned just how cruel Fabled lands can be if you're not careful. We are not going to reload that save. There's that part of me that wants to, like, cheese it, but I'm not going to. I have to accept that this is what's happened, my friends. Shame. It's a shame, but oh well. Hey, friends. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day. Thanks for hanging out with me here in the Fabled lands. When we return to the Fabled lands next week, what we'll do is we'll head into the Obsidian Stones. We will teleport back to Yellowport, and we'll continue on our adventures. We have no money. Actually, maybe we won't head to the Obsidian Stones. Like I said, maybe we'll check around the Isle of the Druids first, see if we can maybe make a bit of money, explore around here, see what some options look like. And then we'll head back to the mainland and go from there. Who knows where the adventures of Torgrim will take us. Today it took us to death and life. Friends, thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate you being here. Don't forget that there are streams on Tuesdays. And then we also have videos on Thursdays and Saturdays as well. So there's a whole week of content coming out this way for you, my friends. I love you all very much. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your Sunday. And I will see you on the next adventure. There we go. We overrode it. There's no going back now, my friends. Bye. Hello, the Internet. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Adventures of Dr. Dropkick. I'm your titular host, Dr. Dropkick, and we're back in Fabled Lands with the adventures of Torgrim the Warrior. Last episode, Torgrim had quite the up-down adventure. He really experienced the highs and the lows here in Harkuna. We defeated the Black Knight, which was pretty amazing, and we increased our skill. We basically became a level 2 or rank 2 warrior from that. We met Nerzul, the son of the disposed king. King Corin VII being killed in the coup. We found the hideout of the rebels, his son leading the rebel army to try to fight back and reclaim his throne. And he asked us to assassinate General Marlock's brother so we can sort of kick off this civil war. And assassination's not really Torgrim's style, so I think we're not going to do that one. Unless it's, kick open the doors and kill everybody. Because if you kill them all, one of them has to be the target, right? We also, unfortunately, perished. We headed into Nerech after learning that one of the garrison commander's daughters had been kidnapped by the wild beastmen of that land, that blasted land. And Torgrim put on the helmet of one of the warriors and went insane. Now, the good news is we did have a resurrection arrangement in place that was given to us at the very beginning of the game, so it wasn't the final end for Torgrim, but it wasn't good. The gods do like to take their price, and they took everything from us. Well, almost everything. We kept our armor, our bow, and our axe, but they took all of our money, all of our potions, and everything else as part of the cost of the resurrection. Torgrim's feeling pretty beat up right now. I think what we're going to do today... Norech, I don't know about that one. I think Torgrim's had a terrible experience there. She's on her own. He'll come back. He'll figure that out. I think what we're going to do, we'll head north still, because we haven't really checked out much of this. Right? Northwestern Saqqara. This is a quest here to learn the greatest song. We could try that. Maybe warrior isn't quite the career for Torgrim that he thought he was. This is the quest to assassinate the General Provost. This is the quest to defeat the Scorpion Men, but we really need fire to make that happen. So we'll see how that goes. But for now, we're back here at the Isle of Druids, where we started the game, because this is where our resurrection took us. So we're going to head back to the Obsidian Stones. We're going to head back to Yellowport, or maybe even Marlock City. Let's go to Marlock City and start making our way north. A narrow path leads up the hill, the top of which is crowned with a circle of large obsidian standing stones, hewn from solid rock. Despite the bitter wind that blows across these hills, the stones are unweathered and seem but newly lain. They form 3 archways, each carved with mystic symbols and runes of power. There are 3 stone gates engraved with ancient runes. Each gate is marked with a name: Yellowport, Marlock City, and Wishport. From here you can see the coast and the whole island, which is heavily forested. We're going to step through one of the archways. We're going to step through the Marlock City Arch. You step through the archway, immediately the symbols on the stone begin to glow with a red-hot energy. Your hair stands on end and your body tingles. A crackling nimbus of blue-white force engulfs you, and the sky darkens and thunder and lightning crash and leap across the heavens. Suddenly, your vision fades, and everything goes black. When your sight returns, you find yourself outside the gates of a huge, fortified city. A guard starts in surprise at the sight of you. Then he shakes his head as if to clear it. He must have imagined what he just saw. The gates are opened, and a troop of heavy cavalry canter past.
"Make your way for the Marlock City Militia,"
says the guard. When they've passed, you walk into the city. Marlock City is a huge, sprawling metropolis, enclosed in a fortified wall said to have been built 1,000 years ago by the ancient Shadar Empire. It is the capital of Saqqara. Marlock City was once known as Sokar, until General Grieve Marlock led the army in bloody revolt against the old king, Corin VII, and had him executed. The general renamed the city after himself, and it is now a crime to call it Sokar. The general lives in the old king's palace and calls himself the Projector General of all of Saqqara. Whereas the old king was corrupt, the general rules with a fist of iron. Some people like the new regime. Others are royalists, still loyal to Nergan, the heir to the throne, who has gone into hiding somewhere. We know where. For a lot of money we could tell you. Outside the city gates hang the bodies of many dead people. Labels around their necks read, "Rebels executed by the state for the good of the people."
"You'd best behave yourself if you don't want to end up like one of them,"
grates a guardsman, nodding towards the swinging corpses. As you pass through the great eagle-headed gates of Marlock City. Okay, so a few things we're going to do here. Actually, one thing that we're going to do, because we have no money, but we do have investments. You might remember way back in the first episode, we put a bit of money away in investments, and then we immediately lost half of it. So let's take a look at that. The Merchants Guild of Marlock City is a large, many-storied building of marble. Inside, many clerks and scribes are at work. Here you can bank your money for safekeeping, or invest it in guild enterprises in the hopes of making a profit. So, let's deposit, withdraw, account balance 0 shards. Oh. Check on investments? Okay, total guild investments 25 shards. To find out how well your investments have done, roll 2d6. Alright, well, here we go. 10! Investment remains unchanged. Oh. Great. You can now withdraw. Okay, I don't think we can, because I think you have to withdraw a minimum of 100 shards, yeah. So, alright, well, cool. Good. Excellent. We're leaving this stupid city. We're gonna follow the river north because we haven't really done the western side of Sakara. Maybe our luck will change as we head up the west here. You are traveling across flatlands. The River Grim splits into a delta here, spilling its waters into the sea. Long, sandy beaches stretch out to the sea. Test your luck. Roll a d6. 1. Bitten by a crab. You are bitten by a crab. We lose a hit point. Great! Thanks, crab. Keep heading north. You are on the east bank of the River Grim, a great powerful river which rushes past towards the sea. You can travel to Golnir here. Now let's test our luck. Roll a d6. 6! Hey, we catch a smolder fish. Oh, we could sell that somewhere. Yellowport, we could definitely sell it. Maybe somewhere north we'll buy it? Interesting. Alright, we wanted to... Well, we've stopped off here at the Devil's Peak, because we don't want to go west. Right, we're not heading into Golnir yet. So we're just going to pass right through Devil's Peak, and we're going to head to the Forest of Laroon as we make our way north. The Forest of Laroon is a mighty swath of densely packed trees, a slice of primordial nature in the middle of a busy, industrious Sokara. You thread your way through the ranks of trees. In places, the forest canopy almost blocks out the sunlight completely, and you are wandering in deep shadow, haunted by the cries of the creatures of the forest. We do not have an oak staff, so we can't do the quest. We could venture deeper into the forest. Sure. You hack your way through the undergrowth until you stumble across an older ruin. Creepers and forest moss have grown over most of it, but you can see mask-like faces set into the walls, glaring down at you, as if in angry outrage at your intrusion. You come to a massive stone slab, clearly a door. Set into the middle of it is a round granite face, the visage of a sleeping demon. Suddenly an eye pops open and regards you curiously.
"By the tentacles of Tantalon,"
exclaims the face in a gravelly voice.
"A human. I haven't seen one of you lot for 100 years.
An expression of suspicion forms on its rocky features.
What do you want anyway?"
Just passing through, you comment airily.
"Well, you can't pass through me unless you know the password. And that was given to me by Astralis the Wizard King. Oh, let me see. 1,000 years ago by Ebron. This is his tomb, you know."
And how do I find the password then?
"Well," says the demon door, "Astralis was a wizard. Why don't you ask some wizards?"
And where would I find some wizards, you ask?
"How would I know?" replies the door testily. "I've been stuck here for 1,000 years.
Alright, well, we're gonna go. We're gonna find some wizards and come back. Yeah. Let's head to the main road. And we'll head north from there. The road is nearly blocked up by wagons and supply convoys. A troop of soldiers forces its way through the throng. The men bang heads indiscriminately to clear people out of the way. Test your luck. 4. Nothing happens. Alright, we'll keep going. We'll go up into Karambaru. Karambaru is a medium-sized town that acts as a way station between the citadel to the north and the rich towns of the south. It is a garrison town. Many supplies, arms, and soldiers move through Karambaru on the north-south trail. Shops, temples, traders, and the like have sprung up here to serve the needs of the military. There is also a sizable mining community, for the mines of Sakara lie in the Bronze Hills just outside of town. In the slave market, where poor unfortunates sold into slavery are bought for work in the mines. The Karambaru market consists of several covered arcades. Much of its stock is from miners and soldiers, and it is run with business-like efficiency by the Sakari military. Oh, gosh, excuse me, a yawn. I apologize, everyone. There's nothing for us here. We're broke as shit. To the northern road. You are on the road between the citadel of Velis Corin and Fort Mareth. This is quite rarely traveled. The military guard posts are few and far between. Test your luck. Roll a d6. A 5. A sweet spring heals you of up to 3. Well, that heals me for the of 3 hit points. Take that, crab! I've undone the work that you did. You clacky bastard. Alright, let's head to the main road. You are crossing the wild country of northeast Saqqara, heading for the main road. Test your luck on a d6. 6. Attacked by wolves. Great! Cool. But, actually, maybe if we kill the wolves, we can skin them and sell their pelts for money, Alright, so first thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to try to shoot this wolf in the face. Bam! Hit for 3 damage. I'll take it. And then we'll take a step up here. And end the turn. So we have time for one more shot. Let's pull back and fly at the same wolf that we did before. Alright, that was a different wolf, but we hit him for 2. And now I'm going to swap out my weapons for my axe. Here they come. We are going to slam this wolf with our shoulder, knocking it backwards and stunning it. And as it struggles to get back to its feet, we're going to bring our axe down in a crushing arc. No, we're not. We don't have the action points. We're going to stand there and stare at it. Now we're going to crush it. Bam. 1 dead wolf. Bring it on, another wolf. We're going to swing around. Bam. 2 dead wolves. There we go. Good. A fight. That's what we needed. Just a good fight. Restore Torgrim's vitality a little bit. Not being eaten by wolves is no small reward on its own, but you decide to get some wolf pelts as compensation for the stress. Oh shit, okay, yeah. Boop. Boop. The road between the Citadel and Karambaru is chock-a-block with troops and carts. It looks like there's a war in the north. Hey, where there's a war, there's an opportunity for money. Let's see if we can maybe sell our services as a sellsword. Axe. You arrive at the Pass of Eagles. A thin chasm sliced right through the spine of Harkoon, as if Tiernai himself had split the mountains with his sword. A vast citadel has been built right across the southern end of the pass, bottling it up so that none can travel into Saqqara without passing through the castle. Its white walls and flagged-top towers shine brightly in the sunlight. The main gate is guarded by the Knights of the Northern Shield, the permanent garrison of the citadel. Well, let's try to enter. How do you intend to enter? Options: enter with an officer's pass, which we don't have, or we can try to talk to the guards. The guards turned you away. A continuous stream of carts, pack animals, and the like, however, goes in and out of the citadel carrying supplies. You could approach a trader and try to bribe him into letting you hide amid his wares. Well, we don't have money for that, so clearly they don't want us. So that quest of ours is here in the Eastern Foothills, the one to learn the song. Maybe it is time for a change in pace for Torgrim, but we're actually going to dip down to the main road and back up to the Eastern Foothills, see if we can maybe find some more wolves to fight. We did! Good! Alright, cool. We're going to skin these wolves, take their bodies for money. Come here, you stupid wolves. Shot the wolf for 2. It's the end of our turn. We're going to swap weapons, and we're just going to charge right into it. I'm feeling confident here. That wolf missed horribly. We're going to kill the one, hit the other pretty hard. Missed again. Oh, yeah, we're just cleaning these wolves up. Both wolves dead, no damage to us at all. Oh, yeah, I was going to try to start narrating these fights. That's right. I'll remember to do that. For you, the kids at home. Can we take their pelts? Hell yeah. All right. They're going to call us Wolf Boy at this rate. Maybe we should try to sell those in Karambaru. Let's do that real quick. We're going to head through the Bronze Hills. You are walking through the Bronze Hills. Virtually the whole area has been given over to mining. Everywhere quarries and mine shafts abound. It is a horrible expanse of torn up earth. Hardly any areas of green are left. Great heaps of excavated rock, leached of their useful minerals, mar the landscape. You find a quarry that is open to the public. That is to say, if you pay 50 shards, you can dig for an hour in a silver mine. Nope. Back to Karambaru. Do you guys want to buy wolf pelts? You do. For 50 gold a hit. Alright, let's... Yeah, let's sell some of that. Okay. Do we want to sell it right now, or do we want to hold on to it? No, because we should have some coin in our pocket, so I think what we'll do... Let's sell 2 of them. So just so we have coin in the pocket as needed. And we'll hold on to 2 of them in case we find a place that maybe we can sell them for more. Right? But for now, I just want to get some cash in the pocket. Yes, we could buy rope or a lantern. Oh, we should probably buy more arrows. I don't want to yet. I don't want that smolder fish. If only they would buy that stupid fish that we're just sitting there. Yeah, we still have 5 arrows. 5 is okay. Stupid fish sitting in our pack. Alright, so we got $100 to our name now. Let's go back to the northern roads, and then we'll check the eastern foothills. Alright, test your luck. 1. Lose 10 shards gambling. Excellent. You get paid, you immediately go and gamble. Well done. Well, we're going to head back to the main road. See if we can find more wolves to kill. No, instead we were caught in an animal trap. Lose 2 stamina. Good. Great. Cool. We got paid. We've immediately lost $10 and 2 health. That's going great. Eastern foothills. You have come to the foothills of the spine of Harkoon. The great mountains rise up majestically before you, their snow-capped peaks wreathed in clouds. You find a clear, cold stream where you drink your fill and replenish your water supplies. Let's climb upwards. Climbing the spine of Harkoon is no easy task, so we don't have climbing gear, but we could climb the old-fashioned way. Make a scouting roll. So our scouting strength is 4, difficulty is 12, so we need to roll a 9 or higher. Ooh, oh, a 12, a critical success. That means nothing, but we rolled it. After a grueling climb of some hours, you are halfway up the side of the mountain when you discover a thin, precarious path leading up. You take a swig of water from your canteen and proceed up the path. After a while, you have to stop to take more water. To your horror, your water supplies turn sour and undrinkable. Make a magic roll. Magic skill is 3, and we have to get the difficulty is 10, so we need an 8 or higher. Ugh. 9, we did it! Wow. You sense that sorcery is afoot. You can make a few magical divinations which tell you the path is cursed. It will sour the water supply of anyone who travels upon it. However, you can tell that the curse affects only the path. There's just enough room to squeeze your way up beside it, hugging the rock face. You find your water returns to a state that is drinkable. Eventually, the path leads to a bubbling well of spring water in the rocks, just at the opening of the canteen. You refill your canteen, then explore the cave. The interior of the cave is cool and refreshing, a paradise compared with the savage heat of your grueling climb. You find a man floating cross-legged in the middle of the air. He is dressed only in a loincloth and is painfully thin. His face is shrouded in a great luxuriant growth of glossy black hair, a beard like no other you have ever seen. At the sight of you, he gives an exasperated sigh and says, "I am Damor the Hermit." "A hermit! That means I like to live alone. Got that? Alone! So go away!" "I nearly died getting here, old man," you reply testily. "Yes, you'd have plenty tough to get through the curse I put on that path, I suppose," he says, somewhat apologetically. I'm going to ask him about the greatest story. This is the quest that we were given from a bard at a roadside tavern. You remember a bard in a tavern told you about Damar the Hermit, that he knew the secret of the greatest story ever told. So you ask him about it. "Ah," says Damar, "I have waited for one such as you." He tells you the secret of the greatest story. "Well, my young adventurer, destiny beckons, for it is fated that your life will be the greatest story ever told. Turn the rock, look beneath it, and peace on earth was all it said." As you consider this, you feel a sense of momentary enlightenment. We've gained 1 charisma permanently. Hey! Alright. "Right, that's that," says Damor. "Now go away and don't come back." For a few hours, he lifts the curse that soured your water, and you can make it down safely. Yay! Well, we have no reason to go back up there. Look at that! Look at Torgrim. Charisma's now 5. It's one of our better stats, along with Sanctity. Obviously, combat being the best. That's amazing. All right, cool. Let's head back because there's something I wanted to try in Karumbaru. Back to the northern road. Yeah. Test your luck. Ooh, a 5. Sweet Spring heals you. I'll take that. Thank you. If I remember correctly, right, Karambaru is the slave city. I think there was, yeah, the slave market. You walk the dusty streets of the garrison city in search of the slave market. The slave market is a large, canvas-colored square. The poor, unfortunate slaves, people from all over Harkuna, from the Feathered Lands, Golnir, criminals of Saqqara, nomads from the steppes, are paraded in chains on a dais. Merchants and nobles bid for the slaves they want. An unusual sail has come up, a little furry bat-winged humanoid. It is one of the mannequin people from the Sky Mountains in the north, and it is going for 50 shards. Let's buy it. Why not? Let's buy a pet. The little mannequin creature is handed over to you on a leash. Its wings have been tied together to stop it flying away.
Who are you then?
It pipes in a squeaky voice. Just then, a palanquin, carried by 4 bearers, arrives. A man leads out and hails you.
You there, I've come to buy that flying monkey, but I see I'm too late. Nevertheless, I will give you 75 shards for it.
Don't sell me to that popinjay. Free me instead.
Chitters the mannequin. Let's free it. Torgrim is all about living free. He believes, he travels, he believes that people should be free. He doesn't like slaves. He bought this as a companion, right? And now that, not with the intention of having a slave. He's like, nobody wants to be my friend, I'm going to buy a friend. Look, I really tried to justify this here. I just wanted to see what would happen, alright? We're going to free it. We're not going to sell it to the fat man. You untie the little creature from its bonds. It gives a jubilant cry and soars upwards.
Thank you, large one, it chitters. My name is Pickalick, the Wing Warrior. We will never forget. One day I will pay my debt.
With that, he flitters away into the clouds.
75 shards, you just let it fly away,
comments the man in the palanquin wryly.
Mannequin people can't be trusted.
Believe me, you leave the slave market. Okay, interesting. Can we go back there? Oh, okay, cool. At nightfall, the market is kept open for a special sale. A cage with a steel floor is wheeled out. Inside is a dark, man-like shape. It seems to radiate shadows, for you can barely make it out. The slave says,
"A trow, ladies and gentlemen, excellent miners, though they have to be chained with cold iron at all time."
The price is 100 shards. I mean, we can't afford that. All right, well, let's go then. Holding on to our cash. Don't want to, because I don't know what to do with these yet. Right, like I know we have this fish. Oh, we can just wear it? Does that do anything for me? Defense 12. Oh, okay, what's the description here? Looks like a wolf, smells like a wolf. You could probably use it to hide yourself. Alright, cool, I guess. Let's go check this other side of the fortress here. That's the word I'm looking for. I'll go back to the northern road. Test your luck. We got healed for 3 that we didn't need. Thank you, game. Okay. Head to the main road. Maybe we'll fight more wolves. Maybe the wolf grinder will just keep going for us. Nope, we got caught in the animal trap again. It really seems like they have maybe cleared out the wolves a bit here. Alright, Western Foothills. You come to the foothills of the spine of Harkun in the northwest of Saqqara. The view is impressive, a massive wall of forested mountains whose rocky, white-flanked peaks soar skywards into the clouds. This part of the mountains is unclimbable, but you notice a large cave at the bottom of a mountain. Alright. You enter the cave. It is large and dark. Unfortunately, it is the lair of a pack of wolves. A very big pack of wolves. Cover yourself in the wolf pelt. You pull the wolf pelt over you and drop to all fours. Gingerly, you crawl in. This is the Looney Tunes. In the dark, you now look and smell like a wolf. At the back of the cave, you find a hole in the roof and an iron ladder leading up to it. Up we go. You come to a network of underground tunnels that run under the mountain. It is pitch dark, and you must have a source of light, such as a lantern or candle to proceed. Damn it, we don't... Okay. Let's leave the cave. So, a lantern's like $100, right? We have 2 wolf pelts, which is $100, but if we... because that's 50 each. But if we sell both the wolf pelts to buy the lantern, we won't be able to sneak through the cave anymore. You know, we sold our hair to buy a comb. Let's see if we can trigger the wolves one more time. And then maybe we'll keep note of this, and we'll see if we can find 10 gold somewhere else. That's all we need. All we need is 10 gold. Oh, well, look at us. We found some wolves to kill. How convenient. Maybe the wolves have $10 on them. All right, wolf. There you go. Take a bow to the face. Here they come. Take another bow to the face. You got 2 hit points left. What's your plan here, wolf? Come here. Come here. Come here. And you're dead. That didn't work out so well for you, did it? No, it really didn't. Come here. Here, you dummy. There you go. Alright, now I'm going to check their pockets for cash. Did we find any wolf money? Oh no, they only have wolf bucks. Oh no, we got 2 more pelts. Alright, great. So let's head to Karambaru then. We'll sell the pelts, buy a lantern, and go check out that. You are walking through Bronze Hills. Virtually the whole area has been given over to mining. Everywhere quarries and mine shafts abound. It is a horrible expanse of torn up earth. Hardly any areas of green are left. Great heaps of excavated rock, leached from the useful minerals, mar the landscape. You find a quarry that is open to the public. That is to say, if you pay 50 shards, you can dig for an hour in the silver mine. Now we're going to pass right on through. Hello, Karambaru. I would like to sell you 2 wolf pelts. And I would like to purchase one of your finest lanterns. Thank you. That's very kind of you to sell me that lantern. We should buy more arrows while we're here, too. I mean, they're so cheap. $2? We'll buy, 20 arrows. No, we'll buy 5 arrows. We don't have that kind of money. We still have the wolf pelt that we can use. Should I just sell the other one? No, it takes up such a small amount of space in our inventory. And maybe we'll find a place that we can sell it for more than 50. Alright, back to the main road. Are we going to fight more wolves? Eh? We do! I found the infinite money glitch. It's called deforest the wolf population, or kill all the wolves. Alright, have a bow to the face. There you go. End turn. Here they come. Yep. Uh-huh. This is going fabulous for me. 1, 2. There we go. That's another, basically $100 in our pocket. This is great. This is what Torgrim needed. Torgrim needed the thrill of battle, the power of wolf bucks in his pocket. He's feeling good right now. It's almost like death never happened as he tried to rescue some girl. Ugh. You know who never betrays you? Axe. Axe never betrays you. Alright, we're going to investigate the cave. Cover ourselves with a wolf pelt. Climb the ladder. You come to a network of underground tunnels that run under the mountain. It is pitch dark, and you must have a source of light, such as a lantern or candle. Explore. The tunnels are natural, probably the course of an old underground river, now long dead. Make a scouting roll. Our scouting is 4, and the difficulty is 13, so we need to roll a 10 or higher on 2d6. A 5. Despite your best efforts, you get completely lost in the maze of underground tunnels. Test your luck. Roll 2d6. 5. Plus... Oh, special bonus. +2 for adventurer mode, because we picked baby difficulty, so a total of 7. Lucky. You have come to the foothills. Oh, we're just back in the thing here. Let's try it. Oh, God. Rolling a 10 on 2d6. We'll try that maybe when we have better scouting. Okay, but we have a lantern now, and we have a lot of cash in our pocket. Let's there's really not much left here in Saqqara for us. Like, if we look at this, we have whatever this stupid thing with the stupid scorpion men that we need fire to deal with them. We have this quest in the Wretch that really kicked our ass last time, so we're not doing that. So I guess they won't let us north into Velis Corum. I guess our best bet now is to head to Golnir. So you remember back in the very first episode, I mentioned that this was a series of game books. Saqqara was the first game book, and Golnir, I believe, was the second, and the two of them were released at the same time. So let's head south through the Dragon Knight's Citadel, and we'll cross the river into Golnir. We have nothing to do here, so we're just going to pass right on through. We're going to head to the riverbank. This is the east bank of the River Grim, near its source of the spine of Harkoon, far to the north. You reach a ford where you can travel to the west bank for 1 shard. You could try swimming across instead, but the current is strong. No, we have $30, let's pay the 1 gold. You pay to ford the river. Once you cross to the west bank, you traverse the river valley. It is not long before you reach a small settlement. Welcome, my friends, to Golnir. A whole nother country that seems much more at peace than civil war-ridden Saqqara. You come to Conflas, a thriving market town at a point where 2 rivers meet. It is a delightful town of white-fronted houses with brightly painted timber frames. The burghers of the town are open and friendly, as one explains to you. We tell the baronies that we pay tax to the Saqqarans, and we tell the Saqqarans that we pay tax to the baronies, so they both leave us alone. That's why you'll never find a long face in Conflas. So, welcome to Golnir. Look at this place. Beautiful place. Gosh, so this is Saqqara along the west side, or the east side here. And it is Old Harkoona to the west. So we're kind of wedged in the middle. Looks like a bit of a bread box, you know. It is run over by the Baroness Ravane, I think her name is. And we picked up not a quest, but like a little hint somewhere that there was definitely... Where's my stupid notes? There it is. It's got some... Sorry, I was playing around with a few things here. I'll get rid of those, because I was doing some audio testing. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, we were just farting around with some audio. There's actually a second save in here. Here, where I was just like playing around with some audio and just like clicking around, because we're actually trying a whole new audio recording setup right now, where I'm recording my audio totally separate from the game audio, so I have a bit more control about balance and things. So I was just kind of clicking around, making a few notes, seeing how things were going. So you didn't miss a whole lot, don't you worry, kids. But Baroness Ravane here, there's some intrigue in the court, so maybe we'll make our way down that way. I don't know if Torgrim's much of an intrigue guy, but we'll see how that goes. Okay. It's the Abbey of Lacuna. There's Linton. Right, we are here in Conflas. You come to Conflas, a thriving market town at the point where 2 rivers meet. It is a delightful town of white-fronted houses with brightly painted timber frames. Oh, we've already talked about this. I'm sorry. Let's check the market. What do you guys... Oh, you buy the smolder fish for 55. Yeah, take that out of my... It's really starting to stink now, I think. Do you sell anything that I want, though? Not really. Pretty basic market here. Okay, let's go to the inn. You can get lodging here for 1 shard a day. Each day you spend here allows you to recover 1 stamina point if injured. You see, the problem with recording your audio separately is you have to remember to hit record on the audio. So I played for like half an hour, and well, I forgot to hit record. So that's the audio test. Let us buy drinks all around the bar. We got some cash. We sold a fish. Now we're going to turn that fish into alcohol. You meet 5 elderly priests in long robes. Joining them at their table, you ask where they are bound. We travel all over Golnir, says the oldest, teaching people about the gods. You must have met some strange sorts in your time, you say.
He nods. Indeed, the most intractable were the bald folk of the Forsaken Forest. They attack and murder anyone who has a head of hair, scalping them to make wigs.
And do not forget the citizens of Dwemer,
chimes in the youngest priest, a fellow of about 60.
They admire godlessness, as if it was a virtue.
Interesting. So Forsaken Forest. Do we have that anywhere? I mean, no, it doesn't map a Forsaken Forest. Could be that one. Could be that one. Interesting. That's the Icicle Woods. The Grooms. Okay, alright. What else can we do here? Visit the Trade Guild. We don't want to... Let's explore. Your options include hiring a passage on a bard going south at a cost of 3 shards. Oh, that just sends us back to Sakara. We don't want to do Sakara. Let's head north. Let's head north to Linton. Let's check out some of these little towns that are around here. We have a bit of cash to our name now. Maybe we can use it. Linton is a friendly little village, like many others which are dotted all over northern Golnir. The craftsmen here are fortunate to be so close to busy Conflass, and cart their wares over to the larger town each time the market day approaches. The markets in Linton are set up most mornings. While it lacks the variety of the stalls at Conflass, the locally harvested vegetables are just a little fresher, and the stall owners are just a little more amiable. A local trapper catches your eye, asking you questions about events in the region, while at the same time presenting his wares. As you wander through Linton, you overhear Baker speaking with one of his customers, who mentions that a fete is taking place. They also mention that a large group of Regesti nomads have settled near the village lately. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's see the market. Anything? Do you guys sell fire? Do you just sell fire? No, but... Oh, they buy the wolf pelts for 80. Shit. Okay, yeah, here you go. Please. I'll keep one on me for creeping through that cave if we need it later. Oh my god, we've got $300. We are so rich. But they don't sell anything that we need here. Jerks. Okay, let's go to the inn. The Four Clover Inn stands at the center of the village of Linton. A horse brass in the shape of a four-leafed clover hangs above the bar in the smoky, cozy public room. You might try stealing this if you think it will prove useful. No, but we are going to buy drinks. You sink into an armchair at the Four-Leaf Clover Inn, taking stock of your recent travels through the corner of Golnir. The day has been long, and the promise of a warm fire and good ale is most welcome. As you settle in, you notice the inn has fallen unusually quiet. Faces turn towards you, some curious, some wary. The landlord brings you ale, and noting your quizzical expression, leans close with a knowing smile.
Don't mind them. Adventurers are rare in these parts. At least, they were until recently. Ever since Jasper Faze, heir to the wealthy Faze family, announced as he seeks a champion for some great quest, they've been flocking here like flies. Word spread far and wide. The interviews are tomorrow morning, and the chosen one stands to earn a fortune.
He gestures towards 2 patrons counting coins.
I believe old Logbrew the miller has just wavered 5 shards on your chance of being selected.
Intrigued, you press him for details over another round of drinks. A quest? Handsome payment? And apparently little competition worth your steel? Most promising indeed. You take a room for the night and rise early to head for the Faze Estates north of the village. After all, who could possibly stand against you? Okay. Well, let's go. Faze Mansion. The Faze Mansion is an imposing edifice in an estate of some 30 acres. A gaunt servant in a black coat opens the door and escorts you upstairs to a room off a long gallery. Here, you wait. Shortly, you are joined by a well-groomed man of about 40 who introduces himself as Jasper. After a few questions relating to your previous adventures and preferred fighting technique, it's mostly putting axes into wolves, he jots down some notes in the ledger. He tells you the interviews are nearly all complete, and so you will not have to wait long. Then he leaves. After a few hours, Jasper calls the candidates to the main hall. You look around at the others. Most seem to be scoundrels or opportunist ruffians, but there are 1 or 2 whose exploits rival yours. Jasper steps forward.
After due consideration of the corroborated adventures of each candidate, My brothers and I have chosen Salakar of Mormorak as our champion. Yay!
You are horrified to see Jasper clasp hands with Salakar. You know of this man. By all accounts, he's a failed candidate for knighthood in the service of Baroness Ravane, away to the southwest. He was rejected for his arrogance and lack of piety, and his habit of cruelty towards his enemies. And yet he is a fierce swordsman regardless, the equal of any knight in this land. A disgruntled murmur from some of the other candidates is silenced by the 5 shards each is given for his trouble. You take your money with bitter heart, trying to think of a way to cancel or reverse Jasper's decision and make yourself champion. Then, will you? So we could challenge Salakar to a duel, we could leave now but follow Salakar, eavesdrop on them, or just attack Salakar right away. The bum rush is an interesting option, but I'm not a fan, because I have a feeling like if we just do that, like Torgrim's just like, oh, sore loser, get him out of here. Right? That's not how you change someone's mind. We're definitely not the sneaky stabby type to like follow and eavesdrop, so we're just gonna like outright be like, I have big axe, I'm stronger and better than you, I challenge you to a duel. Sneering, Salakar accepts your challenge.
So sure am I of success, he declares, that I will leave to you the choice of combat. Will you joust, or duel, or compete with me on the archery field?
A duel involves a straight fight. A joust is strenuous and demanding, while archering tests only your skill. Your assessment of Salakar is that he is skillful but not hardy, and would fare badly in a punishing joust. We're going to duel him. I feel confident in my ability to just absolutely kick his ass. You meet the following afternoon at a bridge quite near the village of Linton. Jasper has come along in a curtained carriage to watch. Salakar stands ready, and at a signal, you both draw your weapons and close to fight. I'm a little wounded. I should have slept at the inn. I did, but it didn't heal me. Oh shit, look at this guy. It's Salakar. He's got 21 hit points. He carries himself with the cold confidence of a man who believes the world owes him greatness. Okay, we have our bow equipped. I'm going to shoot him with it. And he blocked it. He deflected it with his sword as it came in towards him. We're going to reverse a step here. Salakar comes in. We pull back for another shot. It does hit him this time, thudding into the meat of his thigh for 4 damage, bringing him down to 21 hit points. We're going to swap to our axe. We drop the bow and unlimber our mighty 2-handed axe. Salakar comes closer. With a bellow, we lower our shoulder and charge into him for a stunning blow, knocking him backwards and for 2 damage. We now no longer have any more action points, so we're just going to stand there and look at him as he's on the ground. Salakar tries to rise to his feet, but we bring our elbow down across his spine with a mighty crack for another 4 damage, driving him back down. Our boot swings up to meet him on his way down and cracks him in the jaw for 3 damage. Salakar rises and strikes at Torgrim for 6 damage. Holy shit. Ouch, Kabibble. That hurt. Do we want to fall back? We can't stun him again. We could tactical assess, which will give us +1 damage. We're just going to hit him, I think. Try to do 8 damage. That was only 2. Hit him again? Okay, he's down to 2 hit points. End turn. Oh. With a great downward chop, Salakar's blade slices into Torgrim's shoulder. Torgrim falls to the ground. Darkness enclosing his village. His whole village is dark, his visage. You are dead. Since you do not have a resurrection deal, your adventuring days are over. Well, shucks. That's it. Torgrim Wolfslayer brought low while trying to prove his own might and mettle to compete on a fabulous quest. Perhaps not the glorious end that Torgrim saw, or that we saw coming for Torgrim. He did recover from his previous death well, slew a whole forest of wolves and sold their skin. But in the end, Torgrim did learn that the greatest story had been told. And that was the life of Torgrim. So Torgrim will rest in Tyrnai's halls knowing that even though his story has ended, no story will ever be greater. My friends, thank you for joining me here in the Fabled Lands. I appreciate it. You've seen just how brutal this game can absolutely be, and the tales that can come out of it. I think we're going to take a short break from Fabled Land stuff, but, you know, we might come back to it. I would like to see what some of the other quests are looking like. Perhaps next time we'll play something very different. What are some of our other options here? So there's Torgrim. Poor guy. We could play a troubadour, just go totally different, but we've already learned the greatest story, so, like, what's the point? A wayfarer. Prefer to make your home in mountain grottos and woodland groves. So this is like a ranger. The rogue. A priest or a mage. Oh man, wizards. I love wizards. We might just become a wizard, you know. But yeah, that's something that we're going to tackle down the road, my friends. Thank you for joining me. I'm sorry, Torgrim. Your adventure could have been so much more, but again, we did learn the greatest story already. There is no story that can be told better of Torgrim than that of his life. Friends, have a lovely rest of the day. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend if you're watching this on launch day, which is a Sunday, or if you're watching this on a Saturday or Sunday in the future. Enjoy your weekend. Don't forget that we stream on Tuesdays. We have videos that go up Thursdays and Saturdays, and I will see you in the next adventure. Bye!